everyone, and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Hope you're having a good end of your week. I hope your weekend's gonna go well. And welcome. Let's inaugurate this weekend with some weird SovCit videos, court videos, arrests, and more. We have a Sovereign Citizen homeschool situation that doesn't go great. Parent ends up arrested, so we'll take a look at that first. We have some Cataspinda and some other stuff, so should be good. We got a bunch of followers yesterday, it looks like, on that raid, so that's nice. If anyone's new from that, welcome. We have a lot of fun here looking at a group of conspiracy theorists called Sovereign Citizens that believe that the law doesn't apply to them, thus the judge outfit. We're doing Costume Month. The chat, or rather Discord, appropriately chose the judge outfit for today. That'll be going on for another half of the month. I believe tomorrow I'm going to be putting up the poll for the new costume we get, because I'm going to get paid tomorrow, I think. Or maybe Monday I'll get paid, because it's the weekend. I don't know. Either way, we'll do that, and then I'll get the new costume, and that'll get added to the rotation. It is September, so now's a great time to add a subscription to Twitch if you're sick of seeing ads all the time. Gift subs are always helpful, and they're still doing the thing where every 300 bits and over, they add 10%. So that's cool. Consider it if you want to support the show. Couldn't do it without you guys. If you're on YouTube, feel free to like the stream. Helps a lot. And without further ado, I think we can get into it. That's a lot of housekeeping. Let's see. Hey, Spokane Dogman. Unconditional Prong, thanks for 27 months, says, Stream Baby number 3, Blu-rays for airport movies and Heather's 4K coming soon. Can't wait to get the Hitcher 4K. Yeah, the Hitcher is great. I have a nice, I forget who put it out, but I have a box set by them that's pretty nice. I know there's a box set for Airplane, some of the Zucker brother films, and that looks good. And Heather's 4K, yeah, I think I got that from Arrow a while back. Haven't gotten a chance to watch that copy yet, but I love Heather's. That sub-baby's name is going to be Christian Slater Brought a Gun to School. That's the name of that kid. That sub-baby's name is inspired by the plot of Heather's. A plot point in Heather's, I guess, that hasn't aged very well. Anyway, like I said, like the stream on YouTube if you can. And, let's get into it. Oh, also, one more thing. I did order an Ethernet cable. I ordered a 50-foot Ethernet cable. So, whenever that gets here, we will cease operating on Wi-Fi. I know it has been an issue. I apologize it's taken this long. I ordered a 50-foot Ethernet cable. So we will be wired up in the next week sometime. Won't have to deal with Wi-Fi anymore. So that'll be good. Alright. That out of the way. Let's get into it. I ordered an Ethernet cable a long time ago, but it wasn't long enough because I thought I had an Ethernet connector in this room. I do not. That's why I got a 50-foot one this time, because it's going to reach downstairs, and we're going to wire it up so it reaches all the way in here. Oh, so what this video is, this is a couple of parents who are doing what they call homeschooling. Just to be open about this, I'm not a fan of homeschooling. That's not to say everyone who's homeschooled was misserved by it. It just seems to me many more children are harmed by homeschooling that is inadequate than are enhanced by really great homeschooling. So as a whole, not a fan of homeschooling. In this particular case, I get the vibe that it's less homeschooling and more unschooling. If you're familiar with the concept of unschooling, basically it's parents who say they're homeschooling their kids, but then they basically don't do anything and just let their kids teach themselves, or they'll get an interest in math in their own time. Not good. So they didn't register anything with the state. I believe they're in Virginia. They didn't file any paperwork. They didn't, do any progress reports, which you need to do if you want to homeschool your kids to make sure they're getting a modicum of an education. And this is the result. So let's check it out. Mr. Duck Sauce, thank you so much for 11 months.
Alright, so what this is this is a submitted warrant. Have you ever been given one of these before? Are you Chris?
A what?
Are you Chris?
Do you know y'all are trespassing
We're not, sir. We got a reason to be here.
for what?
You can't trespass the sheriff if they have a warrant for you. Fun fact.
That?
I'm going to explain that to you and her. So these are permitted warrants, okay? Under Code 18.2-371, while being 18 years age or older, willfully contribute to, encourage, or cause any act of omission or condition which rendered a lying. How do you pronounce your last name, man? I don't want to mispronounce it.
You can pronounce it how you want.
Knight, is that correct?
What's the...
Yeah, what is this?
I'm explaining that to you.
Okay.
A child under the age of 18, delinquent, in need of services, in need of supervision, abused, or neglected, as defined in 16.1-228.
Okay.
That's what the warrant's for.
So, what happened?
I didn't take this warrant out against you, so I don't know anything about the case.
Who did?
Kimberly Kendrick.
This is through the public, Fletcher County Public Schools has issued this. We're just out here.
Oh, well, I don't have any contracts with them. I don't know.
Right.
Stop, Timber. And down.
You don't need to have contracts with them. That's not how this works.
Yeah,
What are they... What, I mean, I don't understand what's going on.
I could read you the criminal complaint. Would you like me to do that?
Sure.
Okay, so this one is yours, okay? Holly Kerbo is the mother of minor child Elian Knight. Date of birth, 2/28/27.
Is his last name Knight, like Knight, and he's saying it Knight?
Since February 2024. I've attempted through postal mail, phone calls, and home visits to address the education of Elian with no success. As of today, 8/12/24, Elian is not enrolled in school, nor has homeschool documentation been received. And
Okay, so they're wanting homeschool documentation?
I believe so, yes ma'am.
Okay.
well, that's not criminal.
Was this cop also homeschooled? Why doesn't he know how to pronounce Knight?
Well, that's why these are permitted.
And yours,
Yeah.
yours is the same, it's just got your name in lieu of her name.
Well, I don't want it. I'm good. I mean, I'll take
I don't want it. Oh, that was easy.
it. I'm not signing anything.
You don't have to sign anything.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Does he?
No one has ever talked to us.
I mean,
Right, well,
I'm.
it says in there that she's tried to make contact and wasn't.
I mean,
able to.
I'm reserving my common law rights protected by the Constitution of the United States. I have no contracts
Yeah,
with
we
them
haven't-
or
we
this
haven't
city
signed
or
any
yeah, that's my kid. God gave me that kid right there. So
Hey, man, I completely
okay,
agree with
okay,
you.
all right.
Your kid isn't your property. Your kid has rights. They have a right to a basic education. And you're not providing that, or at least you haven't provided proof that you're providing that to the state. What you need to do, you're moving to a new state, and if that's the case and they went from a state where this wasn't required to one where it is, it's your responsibility as a parent to check and see if there are any requirements of you. I'm already pretty grossed out that there are any states that you don't need to require, like, a check-in, standardized testing to make sure the kid is okay in terms of their education progress. That's messed up. But if you're moving from one of those states to one that requires stuff, you need to know that. That's on you as a parent. PK the Lost, thank you for 45 months. And Demi Bird Does, thanks for 21. Says, hey, my last Prime sub, take that ads, now to get a weed vape and do Hannah fan art. Sounds like a fun time. Enjoy yourself. And that starts a hype train, 93% to level 1 in the hype train, thank you. Amber with 140 stream streaks, as it goes without saying, I love your streams, Hannah. Oh, thank you. We appreciate it.
You will have to sign saying that you did receive this.
Oh no, I'm not signing that. No,
Absolutely not.
no, I'm not signing any contracts with them.
Okay.
I want nothing from them.
So this isn't the school system.
Well, I'm not asking anyone for help. We don't need help. We're good.
This isn't signing.
This isn't about help. This is about your kid receiving help, because you may not be providing that child the education that they deserve. This isn't about you receiving help, it's about your child receiving help.
Thing saying you're going to do anything with him in school. This is saying that we've gave you this paperwork and you have a court date, and then you can explain.
Oh,
it there.
well,
That's
yeah,
all it says.
I'm
It's not
good
saying
on
that you
that.
have to do anything with your son.
I'm not signing
Okay,
that.
yeah, I'm not
Oh,
signing.
45 months is a baby. This stream baby's name is gonna be, unemployable, unschooled child.
Nothing. So.
Okay, so here's the other option. This is a permitted warrant, okay? I can give you a copy of this. I can set you a court date. you can willfully come appear at that court date. If you don't sign this and I don't serve this to you, the other option is you're placed under arrest.
Yeah, we see this with sovereign citizens semi-regularly where it's a traffic stop or something. Usually it's a traffic stop where they'll say, hey, we just need you to sign this, and then you'll appear at your court date, and they refuse. And because you're refusing to sign the agreement that says you'll show up voluntarily to your court date, they get arrested. All they would have had to do was sign this. If they genuinely didn't know that there were regulations in this state, I find that a little dubious, but let's say that was the reality of the situation. All they needed to do was sign this, go in, figure out what they needed to do, and get all their paperwork in order. They're refusing to sign this, and it's not going to go well. Procagom, thank you so much for gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to the community.
And we'd have to take you in.
And then we have to take you in.
This is the simplest way to do it, the way they've done it.
I would like to give you this paperwork, let you choose the court date that works out well for y'all's own schedule, and then appear.
So they're saying that you have to put your, is that what they're saying? That you have to put your child in public school?
And no, not in public school. Either public school or provide some kind of homeschool documentation.
Notice that he explains this here. Notice that he has already explained, no, they're not telling you you need to put your kids in public school. I think she should. But she doesn't have to. That's not what the law is. She just needs to provide documentation as per the state's requirements for homeschooling. But she will ask a couple more times. Oh, so what? They just want us to put them in public school? The fact that you are incapable of listening and learning in this very simple human interaction makes me concerned that you are not qualified to teach a human child how to be an adult. Bittergrin, thanks for 100 bits, 33% to level 3 on the hype train.
Prove that he is receiving some type of education. You can homeschool your kid from however many age, the age of whatever, 18.
Well, I'll let you know that you're trespassing. I guess if you want to kidnap us and kidnap our kid.
Listen, man.
I mean, shit ain't going to be good.
I do
you
not
know.
want to arrest you. I don't want to, because if
Well, I mean, you can't arrest me. I mean, if
all
you.
we want to do is just.
I mean,
live
I haven't.
peacefully.
Remember those words, you can't arrest me. Fun fact, you can be arrested on your own property. I don't know why he thinks you can't be. You can absolutely be arrested on your property.
Committed any crimes, so
I understand.
I haven't committed any crimes. So if you want to kidnap us, then I guess that's what's going to happen.
I'm not signing anything.
I'm not signing shit.
So I guess we're getting.
I haven't committed any crimes.
Like that.
I haven't committed any crimes.
Put your hands behind your back.
Over what crime? We haven't committed any
I've
crime.
explained it to you.
They're refusing to take the warrants that we have and the option we gave you.
What happens
I'll
if
set
we?
your phone down.
What happens if we take the warrant, sir?
We're too far past that point now. We gave you that option.
So what? Hey, I gotta cut my shit off,
I
man.
understand that.
Dude, I got my generator running.
We gave you
can't.
an
You
option.
just can't just come here and just trespass. And
Yeah, I've looked at their other videos. They're basically homesteading and, like, clearing out this big piece of property to build stuff on. Like, straight up, like, cutting down, like a small section of forest, basically, to build their house and stuff. They're very off-grid.
fucking kidnapper.
Give me your
Wow.
hand, man.
What the fuck?
Give me your hand.
Dude, what?
me your
Dude,
hand.
you're on my property in front of my kid.
Give me your hand.
You're in front of my kid, man.
Your hand.
Minute left on the hype train.
Please
Make
give
it
me your
easy.
hand.
You want to come kidnap me off my property?
Chris, last
Unexpected?
chance. Last chance.
You,
Give me
you're
your hand.
trespassing.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
You can talk to your son,
Thank you.
okay? Do you hear me?
The other option is your place.
It cuts back a little bit in time for a different officer's perspective, so I'm going to get back to where we were roughly when he gets arrested.
Okay.
Please.
We tried to explain that to you, okay?
Well, it's scary when
I
someone
understand.
comes to your
30
land.
seconds on the
I
hype
understand.
train.
Okay.
Please don't hurt him.
I'm not going to hurt him.
They have
Go
to.
ahead.
They got to let you know who's boss.
Go ahead and stand him up.
Go ahead, 30.
I'll sign your paperwork.
You can bring 2 units for transport. We have 2 1095.
We're just homeschooling our child, please.
Understand.
We don't even live here. We just own land here. Y'all trying to like intimidate us and fucking
Please.
force us to sign shit.
Set him up.
Inside, man.
They're
I'm gonna let you stand with your son right here, okay? Call him over here. And I'm gonna stand here with you till somebody
Thanks
gets
for the
here,
hype
okay?
train.
But you're not going inside the house. You understand? You understand? Okay, you can call his name, get him over here with you in the front of the car. The only reason that you're not in handcuffs right now is because your little boy is staying out here, okay?
What have we done?
We gave you the option.
They literally told you, again, if you don't understand the situation that's happening to you right now, I don't really know what to tell you. I feel like it's been a pretty clear A to B to C. Your child is considered truant. You are considered abetting in the truancy. They set a court date for you. They just wanted you to sign a thing to say you'll show up. You refused to sign it, so they arrest you. It's a pretty easy series of events to understand.
have a choice. We have to serve these warrants.
Well,
Okay.
it's frightening. We didn't expect anyone here. It's frightening.
Ma'am, we did not approach you in a frightening manner.
Anyone who comes to you telling you that that you have just been a criminal, you are a criminal.
You just went from bringing paperwork to fucking violating my rights and attacking me.
Would you like to call your son over here?
Anyone
Please, sir,
So he can
Officer
sit down here.
Dylan,
Would you like to call your son to stand with you over here?
I'm begging
We
you.
don't even live here. We just bought property here and we're fixing it
I
up.
call
And y'all
on the
are
name
here
of Jesus,
fucking
please.
assaulting me.
Please, Jesus, please be
I
with
let you know
us.
that you were trespassing. Now you came and assaulted me.
So I explained to you we have a reason to be.
If you want me to sign something, I'll sign it.
We're too late for that.
Why is it too late?
We even gave you that option. And you refused to take it.
I told you what the consequences were.
I've got it recorded. You've got it recorded.
I told you what
What's
the
your name?
consequences
Gilbert?
Gilbert, yes sir. I told you what the consequences were if you guys did not sign. I told you what if you could sign. What would happen.
It's summertime. We're enjoying, he's not even supposed to be in school yet.
Yeah, I'd imagine the state's trying to get this sorted before the new school year, so if your kid needs to be registered in public school, that can happen, or at the very least, you can get ready for the next school year so you have your paperwork in order. Kind of seems like the good time to do it. I don't know why this guy's turning into the Joker suddenly. Like, this is his one bad day and he snapped.
It's literally summertime.
Ma'am,
What are you guys doing?
do you want to get your son over here to stand with
They
you?
work for Satan. That's what
If you
they do.
continue to yell at me, you're going to
They
be
work for Satan.
handcuffs. Okay?
These people are definitely qualified to teach a child math and science. These cops are here because of Satan.
Jesus.
I'm being very, very nice right now.
Heavenly Father, please be with us. Please be with us. Heavenly Father, please shine your light.
Did you know you can't arrest people for crimes in summer? It's true, I think that was the plot of Point Break.
Show these officers. Show these officers.
Well, I appreciate you assaulting me, coming on my land and assaulting a peaceful family.
I will advise you, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be
I
used
can
against
say
you in the
anything I
court of law.
want.
You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney,
I've
then
committed
provide
no
it for you.
crimes. I don't need an attorney.
Do you understand your
I've
rights? I read
committed
them to you.
zero. Yeah, I understand my rights. Do you understand my rights?
Yes, sir.
You don't seem to understand my rights. God put me here, not. He didn't put me here with you over me.
I agree with you.
There's no victim.
Just let me
If you
sign the
would read your
paperwork.
United States
No, ma'am.
Constitution, the law, you would understand that you just assaulted a man that has never assaulted anyone in his life. I've committed zero crimes. What are you, a sheriff? Who are you?
Yes,
You're
sir.
a sheriff.
That's sheriff.
Yeah, you're supposed to uphold the Constitution.
Yes, sir.
Funny, because they normally like the sheriffs. They think the whole posse comitatus thing, where they think the sheriffs are the secret real law enforcement.
But instead, you're upholding maritime law.
If no
you're
one
upholding
has
commercial law.
ever spoken
You're
to
violating
us,
your own oath.
why didn't someone just come and speak to us? Why does it have to be a
This was that. I imagine they tried to call you. At minimum, you must have gotten legal stuff in the mail first. But all else failing, this could have been that. They would have come and said, hey, the state needs to talk to you. Here's your court date. Like, it's not even necessarily that they would have been like, you're immediately going to jail. I'm sure if they went and were like, hey, what do we need to do? They might have gotten a fine. Like, I think this was a misdemeanor in the first place, what they're potentially up for. They could have dealt with this, but they choose not to. They ignored letters, or at the very least when this happened, they went, no, we're not going to engage with this process whatsoever. This was that. This was the communication by the state, which you denied. You refused to sign it. You refused to engage, so you're being arrested now.
There is no warning.
For violating your oath.
We had no part in
You
this.
swore to uphold the United States Constitution.
Okay.
You're here to protect the people, but you're here to...
Yes, your child is one of the people. They're protecting your child from your negligence. Correct.
Assaulting a man that's never committed any crimes in his whole life. I've never been arrested or committed any crimes my whole life, and you're here assaulting me in front of my family.
I'm sure that's one of them.
This wig reads less judge and more like I'm gonna get murdered by Salieri.
Son, yeah.
Why are you acting like this?
What do you mean?
Why would you
doing
come
his
to
job.
someone's land, call them criminals, and then wonder why we don't want to accept your
Ma'am,
contracts?
I never accused you or him of anything.
He's violating the same people.
You
that
said, do you
paid
want me to
his
read your
mortgage.
criminal?
The criminal complaint.
That's a complaint.
Not a criminal
We haven't been.
complaint.
There
There
is.
is no criminal.
We've never
haven't
spoken
harmed
to
anyone.
anyone. It's summertime. I haven't spoken to anyone. I don't know how things work in Virginia. I don't know.
Would you like me to explain the process a little bit to you?
Yes.
Okay. So the criminal complaint is the name of the paperwork. Okay. That's what it says at the top
A
of it.
criminal is someone that violates someone's
That's
rights.
someone who's committed a
Brockagam says, Hannah, with that Salieri joke, you have to do the laugh.
crime.
I won't do that again. That's annoying.
Would you like me to explain it to you?
Yes.
I mean, it's dumb.
Amadeus joke.
So
Jamie Lynn with 40 months says, hi, been a long time watching you, loving your channel, still, Harris 2024. Hell yeah, thank you.
the criminal complaint can be used for taking out warrants, taking out emergency custody orders, different things. What someone does when they're trying to apply for a warrant is they write a statement out on a criminal complaint. That criminal complaint then goes before a magistrate. The person who took out or is attempting to take out the warrant then has to explain to the magistrate their belief under oath of facts, okay? The magistrate then, if they find probable cause, they issue a warrant. In this case, a permitted warrant was issued. Some warrants are not permitted, which means you get arrested. Some warrants are permitted, which means per officer discretion, you can be served and given a court date. That's why the paperwork is called a criminal complaint. This, just because you're being arrested does not mean you're guilty of anything. That's why I said I'm not calling you guys criminals.
Well, he's my son. This has nothing to do with her. This is my decision. I'm the man of this family. This is my decision. I'm choosing to homeschool. I do not want my son in that corrupt-ass fucking public school.
Okay, they didn't say you had to put your kid in public school. You just need to at least get your paperwork together and prove you're teaching your kid reading and writing and math and stuff. That's it. Bare minimum.
If you want to arrest me for that, fine.
A lot
Let's
of people
do it.
feel the same way
She
you
has
do.
nothing. You
If
can't
they
take
would have come to
my
talk
son
to
from
us,
his
if they would have
mom.
ever have made contact, we would have known. We didn't know.
Okay.
We didn't know. If that's all I have to do is show them that he's being homeschooled, come on.
No, they know better than to come on here and trespass.
Come
They
on.
send them. They
Please
send
have a
the
heart.
thugs to come
We're not here doing anything wrong. Look, he's building a cabin.
Man, I'm not saying you are.
Okay, your kid needs to learn math. Those things are completely unrelated.
We're teaching our son, like,
Well, you don't have to keep fucking. They know what they're doing is wrong.
well, I just want to please, Officer Gilbert,
Yes, ma'am.
please. We didn't know. Now we do.
That's fine. No, just stop begging them.
No,
Let them take me.
stop.
Let them take me. It's fine.
Elion, come on.
It's fine.
You're all he has. Come on, man.
I haven't committed any crimes. They're
We
committing
didn't
crimes.
know.
They just committed a crime.
We
not
didn't
us.
know.
Okay, well,
They didn't
They're
ever
doing it.
talk to us. They didn't. We didn't know. Now we do.
He explained to you, if you refuse to sign the paperwork, the second option is you get to go in to the jail. When you go into the jail, you're going to talk to the magistrate. They're going to
And
give you a court
Volpe.
date, what me and this gentleman would have done while we were here, and we would have left. You refused.
Well, it's
on our
frightening.
paperwork.
You
It's on our paperwork.
you guys showed
This was a
up.
section- this was
You're
a second
talking about
option.
criminal charges. That's frightening. We don't know what to do with that. We're
It's fine.
peaceful
It's fine.
people.
Calm down. Calm down. Just let him fucking arrest. Let's go.
He's not a bad person. He's a very
Oh,
good
they're
man.
gonna find out.
Irrelevant. It does, like, I don't know where that statement even comes from. Your concept of what makes a good person or a bad person is irrelevant in the eyes of the law. What matters is your actions and if you broke the law. The quality of your character isn't really the point. It's about your actions and your intent to those specific actions, not your character as a whole.
I'm following.
How many videos does this channel have? A decent amount. It's mostly a channel where they're showing they're like clearing out this area, building stuff. It's different, projects and stuff.
Charges.
I don't want to share the channel just because the kids on the channel, not in this video very much, which is why I'm fine showing it. But some of the other videos, the kid's pretty present and
I'm
privacy for the kid.
pressing charges.
Like, if I have to
You don't
sign
let-
under
if you don't
duress,
release
let
I'm
me
pressing
sign.
charges.
Please. Our son is like, he doesn't. He just has us.
Stop. If they
Please.
don't release me, if they take me in, I am pressing charges.
That'll be fine. You're going
Okay.
into
You're
the jail.
trespassing.
You're going to talk to the bank.
And you
you're gonna
fucking-
You're going to court date.
Yeah, you assaulted me and you're kidnapping me and I'm pressing charges. You have no authority over me. You think you do. And God's gonna punish you for treating the people like this that you work for. God's gonna punish you for this shit. Mark my words.
Let us take it as for what it is.
Too far past that point, man.
You're violating your own.
Please have a heart.
Too far
Please
past that point.
look at me.
I'm looking at you.
I would
I've been
rather
told you.
die of starvation than to rob the people that you rob and kidnap people. You're out every speeding ticket you give, every ticket.
No, it's not like it doesn't appear that he like preaches about the SovCit stuff, at least not that I've seen. It's primarily just about this, like building, clearing out
You
stuff.
give the people, you're robbing.
Officer Gilbert,
You're charging people under
call for London
commercial
tonight?
law.
please.
32 to 14.
I will sign.
Stop. It's okay.
Please.
Ma'am, I explained it to you and you said you weren't. And we placed you both under arrest. Could you respond to this location, please?
They don't. You're not capable of changing your mind.
Not after we have
Well,
placed
let's
hands
say
on
we
you
got
and
to
said
this
you were
point.
under arrest.
Yeah, once they assault you, there ain't no turning back then.
Please think about what.
But you
please
could
think about
lessen your.
this.
You could
They
lessen.
never came and they never told us. We didn't know.
They did. The cops coming and doing this was part of that. They also said they tried to contact you prior, which was probably through the mail. The state normally tries to contact you through the mail, in particular certified mail, before they'll actually file something against you. Either way, this was an opportunity to be like, oh no, we have to deal with this, and you chose not to do that. So you can't really say you didn't know, because you knew in this scenario, and you chose the wrong choice.
I'm not saying you're lying, ma'am.
But we didn't know. And now we do.
I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm just saying that I have a permitted warrant. I'm not the person who decides whether you two are guilty or not. I just have to make service on you.
We'll take our court date. We'll explain.
So that my leg's fucked up where he slammed me on the ground for not being violent. No one was violent here except for you. Grab my
Officer Dillon.
phone, babe. Grab my phone. Cut it off, I guess. Y'all are the only one here violent.
Officer Dillon,
I'm not arguing with you.
but you're a
We
human
were very
being.
clear and we gave
You're a
you
human
the
being.
options.
I can see it in your eyes. You are.
Yeah, I don't think she understands this situation if she thinks she can, like, talk him down from this.
A human being.
Right, and I've been told you what we're going to do.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that.
That's fine. Stop asking them for shit.
We are two different entities. We are two different people.
Dustin Linda's calling me.
Yeah, go ahead and answer it. He's all right.
Please don't do this. Officer Dillon, please don't do this.
Oh, they better hope they don't take our
Like,
kid
look
from
at,
his
look
mother.
at,
look at the cabin. Like
I don't see you making them. Just
What is the
Please.
cabin? This is the second time she's brought up the cabin. What about the law makes you think a cabin is a mitigating circumstance for this offense? What are you talking about?
Just stop. Just stop.
Please, Officer Dillon.
Stop.
I'm asking
Stop.
you, please. I can see it in
Don't
your eyes.
consent to
No,
anything. Don't sign anything. Don't consent to anything.
I can't.
Hey, fun fact, not signing something is why you're in handcuffs, so I don't know if that's good advice.
I mean, I can't. Officer Dillon, please.
Question their jurisdiction.
I can't.
They don't have. Remember, they're not protecting the Constitution like they swore to do. They're prosecuting you under commercial law. And what is it? Admiralty,
Admiralty?
maritime law.
He means Admiralty Maritime Law, which isn't true, but at least normally sovereign citizens can say Admiralty Maritime Law.
They're
Again, homeschool. They're homeschooling their kids.
supporting the flag with the fringe around it, not the American flag. Tyranny, straight tyranny.
Officer Dillon, I'll
And
take
if they
your
can live
paperwork.
with that, then I can live with it. We're all gonna face God.
We know that we have done wrong now. And I understand that.
We haven't done anything wrong.
I
Stop
understand
it.
that.
Why are you doing that?
Please. Please. Please, Officer Dillon, please. I can see it in your eyes. I'm asking you to change your mind, and I'll take your paperwork.
Holly, they obviously
I will.
take their job
I
very
will take your
serious.
paperwork.
Overthought says if only there was some system in place where you could actually bargain and or argue on interpretations of the law. Yeah, we should invent something. And in commemoration of this stream coming up with that idea, they should wear the same outfit I'm wearing right now. There you go. We did it.
They are very serious about their paycheck.
Officer Dillon, I am not the same entity
They would
as
rather go
he
to
is.
hell than to lose their job, Holly. Stop
He is
it.
a good man,
Stop.
but I will take your paperwork. Please. He is a good man. He's just standing up for what he believes in. And now I know
I'm sorry, I thought this
Now
was
I know.
America.
what you were trying to do. We were a little scared, and we weren't expecting it. It's shock. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm asking you to please just let me sign your paperwork.
Motion denied.
I'm guessing Lewis and Josh.
So what are y'all planning on, arresting all of us
You two.
and taking our kid into authority?
I
Come
hope
on.
that doesn't have to happen.
So where's our kid going?
I've contacted DSS, so
Wow.
they're going to come here and just
Wow.
observe the kids since both of you are having to go before the magistrate now.
All you do is go to the magistrate court date, and then they're going to let you come back to the house.
Yeah, you both said you don't have any criminal history, right? I never want to say that somebody's not going to get bond because I've said it one time and it didn't happen. So I'm not going to say that. But I would say based on what you've told me, as long as it's true, you have very good chances.
Reserve your rights on everything.
I'm not saying that they do have criminal records. However, in my experience, sovereign citizens are more likely to A, lie about not having criminal records to a cop's face, and B, actually have a criminal record because, surprisingly, believing that the laws don't apply to you is a good way to have run-ins with the police.
If they make you sign something, reserve
This
your
is
rights.
over homeschooling, Officer
You
Gilbert.
remember, right?
What's that now?
It's over truancy. It's over the fact that the state has no evidence your kid is receiving any kind of schooling. You just need to prove you're homeschooling.
This is over
You remember
homeschooling.
how to reserve your rights, right?
Do you understand?
Listen, I would ask you more about it, but I don't want to because that'd be like I'm investigating you. So I don't want to do that, okay?
This is over homeschooling. This is not This is just,
It's fine, Holly.
do you understand?
Again, it's over truancy.
And we made it very clear to you while we were here.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, let me have my phone.
No, sir, you're not getting your phone. You're in handcuffs. You can set his phone down or continue to hold it.
Cut the phone off, Holly. Cut the screen off. Lock it.
I wouldn't even say career criminals, Johnny. Sometimes it just happens because, like, someone's license gets suspended because of a DUI or something, and then they'll be like, wow, I really wish I could drive. Are there any secret online tips how I can drive without a license? And then they get sucked into the sovereign citizen ideology, and it causes them to break more laws. So then they start building a criminal record, but just like the wrong person falling down this after one criminal offense or even no criminal offenses can cause them to get sucked into this kind of behavior.
To be in his phone.
Well, I just wanted to have my phone. When
Well, he can take the phone with you and you can have it when you get to jail.
kidnapped, I like to have my phone.
That's not a problem. We're 10-4 that.
I'm guessing they're gonna take us away from here, and then we're gonna have to find our own fucking way back. And fucking figure out how to get our kid back from these fucking Satanists.
This is
Everyone
what
I
you
don't
get
like is a Satanist.
for trying to live in peace. Just trying to do the right thing. What do you would consider?
No, ma'am, I've been told you what I was going to do. And that's how we're going to do it.
I'll sign it.
We're past that point.
It's
I told you the only reason-
homeschooling.
I understand. The
It's
only reason
homeschooling, Officer
that you're
Dillon.
not in handcuffs is
Okay, and that's fine. The state allows homeschooling. You need to prove you're doing that.
so you can get your child here in just a little bit, okay?
Please, sir.
Just keeps acting as though she's specifically being arrested for homeschooling her kid. It's not. Stop trying to victimize yourself.
Do you have kids?
If you continue
Do you
to
have
argue-
children?
if you
Stop.
continue to argue with me, I
Stop.
will put you in
Just leave him
handcuffs,
alone.
and you can stand there.
Just stop. Stop begging. It's over. We're going through this shit.
So that's where the video ends. There's no update as of yet. Not sure if there will be one. But yeah, hopefully that gets sorted. I hope that they're, I'm not like, oh, I hope this kid gets taken away. Far from it, I hope that they're actually teaching this kid well. I have my doubts, but it'd be great if they were, and if they aren't, I hope they get up to all the standards they need to and can do what they want. But if they can't provide an adequate education to their kid has the right to receive an adequate education through the state. So, I hope that gets sorted out. Trey says, or financial struggle can lead to this as well. True. Like people not being able to have the money to renew their registrations and stuff, and they get sucked into the whole, oh, well, you don't need a registration nonsense. It's sad. Let's give this one a shot. This was a gentleman I believe we had seen before, and he was told that he needed to get an evaluation to prove that he was competent to stand trial. He refused.
I believe I saw recently there was a eval set up and they were unable to reach him to participate in that evaluation.
That's my understanding, Your Honor. I saw that as well. I think the last time we were in court, counsel indicated that the meeting had been set up to do the evaluation and the date was discussed. And it looks like Mr. Richard did not appear for that.
And for the record, Sean Parent for Mr. Richard. Yes, unfortunately, that appears to be the case. I'm not sure why Mr. Richard didn't appear at the evaluation.
No, this isn't the guy that had the hoodie. No, this is a different guy.
Mr.
Same court, though, and I believe the same judge, but this is a different defendant.
Richard, we've been waiting for you to talk to,
Is he driving? As he'll no doubt bring up, he doesn't drive, he travels.
one of the
He is in a car, though, yes.
doctors, and we've been setting this case over for that to happen. When you were here on April 8th, we discussed that you were scheduled for that appointment on April 24th. So I know that you were aware that they had you calendared. Mr. Richard, why didn't you show up for that appointment?
Well, that was an assumption. I wasn't aware of anything.
Well, you were at the hearing when we talked about it, so.
I don't recall.
Literally on record. It's on record. It's a courtroom. They're recording it. There's also maybe a stenographer. Don't know in this court.
You participated on Zoom on April 8th, and we discussed that your evaluation.
What is he on trial for? Oh, what was this one? I don't remember the origin of this one. This one might have been a driving without a license.
Evaluation was calendared for the 24th of April.
Was there anything signed for confirmation?
Well, your attorney has been working to get that set up. So.
Well, I haven't talked to anybody.
Mr. Parent, have you been in
Reminds
contact?
me to the last people in that sometimes SovCit seem to think that if they just ignore phone calls and notices, the problem goes away. That's not how any of this works.
With Mr. Richard?
Looks like my office, we tried to reach him to make sure that he appeared at the evaluation, but we were unsuccessful in reaching him.
Yeah, we might have that video up today, Johnny, actually. Was it the judge that laughed at the sovereign citizen? What's his name? Judge Fleischer? Was it Judge Fleischer? Because we do have that pulled up today.
Yeah, proof of that?
Yes, I have my colleague's notes that we tried to get a hold of you.
And what was the number?
I'll tell you in just a moment.
Yeah, good. Okay, I haven't seen the video yet. I saw he put that up, but I haven't seen yeah, so I'm excited.
So, Mr. Richard, we have the phone number that ends in 1752.
I'm talking about the number you supposedly contacted the defendant on.
Yeah, you're the defendant, and it's the phone number that ends in 1752.
Ashley One Up says, but Your Honor, I put my fingers in my ears and went, la la la, that means I get to go free. We always forget that tactic. So good.
No, that's an assumption and presumption. I'm not nobody.
Oh, you're fine, Johnny.
Defendant. I'm authorized representative of that account.
Okay, so Mr. Richard, the thing is, if you cannot participate out of custody, the court may have to set bail and have you placed in custody to get this evaluation accomplished. So when you are informed of the appointment and then you choose not to appear, the court interprets that as a willful violation.
Under what law are you saying that I could? What charges? What are the charges?
We've gone over that. You have been told that you are charged with driving while license suspended and driving without an ignition interlock device.
There it is. So he apparently had his license taken away, continued to drive. The license was probably taken away due to a DUI, thus the ignition interlock device, which if you're not familiar, are those devices that you may have seen in TV or movies, or real life if you're unfortunate enough. And basically you got to blow into it. It's a breathalyzer that checks that you're sober before you can start your car. They had one in the 40-year-old Virgin. They're a real thing.
So I understand you disagree, but at this point we need to.
I don't disagree with none of the facts. I said, what was the date?
Saying you don't disagree with any of the facts is not a very smart thing to do in a trial where you're the defendant, by the way. Unless you're like pleading, it's probably not great to be like, I don't disagree any of the facts put forward by the prosecution. Oh, okay. Well, we could just rule now then.
The date of the driving, is that what you're asking?
Well, I don't drive, so I'm trying to figure out the date you have on file.
June 4th, 2022, Your Honor, is the charge date.
Thank you.
If you have alcohol in your system, does the interlock inform the authorities? I actually don't know. It certainly makes it so you can't start the car for a certain period of time. But I don't know if it informs authorities. Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up? Estoppel? Okay.
Okay, and have I been charged with anything?
Yes.
And what is it? What are the charges?
As the court just read aloud, driving while license suspended and driving without a functioning ignition interlock.
And is there a witness that you can bring to attain to that?
Those
The
are
officer.
those are the criminal charges. You also were cited for not having insurance.
Yeah, but do you have a witness?
Yes, the city has witnesses. We have the officer that will be testifying.
The officer. Okay, well, can you read the police ticket on?
Estoppel. Estoppel means that a party is prevented by his own acts from claiming a right to detriment of other party who is entitled to reply, or rather to rely, on such conduct and has acted accordingly. Graham v. Asbury. An estoppel rises when one is concluded and forbidden by law to speak against his own act or deed. An inconsistent position, attitude, or course of conduct may not be adopted to loss or injury of another. Estoppel is a bar or impediment which precludes allegation or denial of a certain fact or state of facts in consequence of previous allegation or denial or conduct of admission, or in consequence of a final adjudication of the matter in a court of law. It operates to put party entitled to its benefits in same position as if they represent what they represented was true.
On the record?
We're not having a trial today. We're trying to figure out whether or not you are competent and able to proceed in this matter, and that requires that you speak to a doctor. But that is what we're trying to accomplish.
I'm actually not sure, Wampa. I've never seen them like in real life, so I don't know.
Mr. Richard, if you refuse.
Can you explain to, I don't understand, so can you explain to me how?
Why is he filming everything around him? He probably doesn't want the camera on his face, even though he's really supposed to have it there. Moira Soma says, fun fact, a farmer whose child was taken away because he wasn't education, I think it's supposed to be educated. He was 11 and couldn't read, took it to the courts and said his son was only going to pick fruit on his farm, which he had done since he was 5, and he couldn't need to learn how to read. He won the case. The most insane thing is that I think this was in California. None of his 9 children were given any education. The U.S. is the only country to not sign the UN Children's Care Act. When was that case?
We've explained this to you previously, so what I'm going to ask you is whether or not you are going to comply with meeting the doctor out of jail, or does the court need to set bail and have you booked into custody so they can talk to you there? That's not what I'm wanting to do. I would like you to cooperate and have this case proceed with you out of custody.
Well, I need some type of contract to obtain to whatever you're asking. Because I have questions and you're not answering them. Are you willfully not answering any questions?
Your Honor, at this point, I think given the track record of Mr. Richard and his unwillingness to comply, the city is going to be asking that the court set bail and remand him on that bail to have the evaluation done in custody.
15 years ago, really? That's disgusting.
Mr. Richard, can you assure the court that you will come to an out of custody evaluation?
I will agree to anything if you guys can tell me the nature and cause of this action.
It's been explained.
My 6th Amendment right. I need to know these things before we can move further.
They've explained it. That's why you need a competency hearing, because you keep claiming you don't understand it, even though it's been explained many times.
Are you refusing to tell me?
I didn't quite hear your question. What are you asking?
I need to know the nature and cause of this action. I need to know that before we can move forward.
Yeah, I believe that the court has told you that you're being charged with driving a license suspended in the 3rd degree and operating a motor vehicle without an issuing unlock device.
Okay, well, I have a question for the judge.
What's that,
Hello?
Mr. Richard?
Hello?
Mr. Richard?
Hello? Or can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You should sit down and then instead of having me facing you at the clouds, you should participate in this hearing. Thank you.
Oh my god, he's smoking too. He's smoking in court. You're not supposed to do that. No, thinking Sabercat, we watched all the Living Man stuff.
So
there won't be any more, because I don't think he's the Living Man any longer.
every time we have a hearing, you ask these same questions, and we've explained to you that you're facing criminal charges and that we need to have the doctor speak to you. And so right now, your option is whether or not, as your attorney said, you can agree to meet with the doctors and stay out of jail to do that, or the court will have to remand you into custody so that they can
So
talk to you
basically,
while
you're
you're
telling
in
me you're
jail.
refusing to answer me. You're refusing to answer any questions? That's what you're saying? Because I just have questions.
All right, does
Hello?
not. Mr. Richard? We've answered your questions. We're going to proceed at this point. I'm going to.
I didn't even ask the question. So how did you answer it? That's what I'm saying. Are you refusing to answer the questions?
What do you want to know besides what you're charged with? What was your other questions?
My other question was, did you or did you not take an oath to uphold the Constitution? Can I just get a yes or no?
That would be a yes.
So you're enforcing statutes right now, and so you're totally going against your oath. So I'm trying to figure out what authority do you have to tell me to do anything as a public servant? Can you answer that question, please?
Mr. Richard, I am authorized by the revised Code of Washington to sit in this court. I'm duly appointed to be a municipal court judge. I've taken my oath. You're charged with a violation of the RCW and the Lake Forest Park Municipal Code.
Why are you enforcing statutes if you took an oath to uphold the Constitution?
I know you don't think that it applies to you, but it does. So
I didn't say it didn't apply to me.
I'm going to set bail in this matter at $10,000.
You're making assumptions, ma'am. You're making assumptions, ma'am. I never said it didn't apply to me. But we both know here that the Constitution is not for me. It is for the public servants. So I don't know why you're making assumptions and presumptions. All I had was questions, and you're just going around me. Obfuscation is a big thing.
I'm going to set bail at $10,000, and we're going to end this hearing, Mr. Richard. You can report to jail. You can come in, but we are trying to do this without you having to be in custody, but you are refusing to cooperate.
I didn't refuse anything. I was never put on notice, so I didn't refuse anything.
I know you were put on notice at our last hearing, so that's on the record. So I know that to be false, Mr. Richard. So that is
everything that I asked you. Am I wrong? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you're wrong. So we're going to end this, and we are done on this matter. Mr. Perrin, if he does reach out to you and something can be arranged for them, but right now the doctors have tried twice to contact you, and you've.
The funny thing is, I don't even know if that was a troll, because it's someone who is subscribed for 2 months. Honestly, their account might have just got hacked or something, and they were spamming some kind of like nonsense. So it's entirely possible that they got their like account hacked.
Taken a spot that would have been available to someone else. So we need to progress this matter, and that bail will be set, and we'll continue with an in-custody hearing date when you are booked. A warrant will be issued.
And upon the booking, Your Honor, would the court consider amending the competency evaluation order to reflect in custody, just to kind of expedite that process?
Yes.
Unless were they trying to post a picture and they just didn't understand that you can't copy paste your local drive address to a thing? I don't know.
All right.
I believe I saw recently there.
Right. We get to the end of that?
Yes.
Okay.
For the record, the judge is willing.
That's kind of what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna unban Primo Scott and see what happens. Primo Scott, was that you trying to post a thing? Or what? Because you can't post your local desktop address for something and then post it. It looked like you were spamming nonsense. Just checking. Alright, let's see what's next.
It's still good enough for me. So I'm gonna put here, you swore him to this, right?
No. I just need a copy.
Come on, Melissa. Okay, so we're back on the record in 2522688. I had Mr. Emitom sign an affidavit promising us he's not going to drive, travel, convey in a car. And he signed it as, it says EC, is that right?
ECE.
ECE / all rights reserved, UCC 1-103. Is that your signature?
Yes.
Okay, I'm still gonna hold you to this if I find that you drive. And I'm gonna tell you now, you will end up going to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm just reserving my rights. That's all.
Understand, I'm gonna hold you to it if I catch you driving. It's gonna go sideways real quick. Okay, good. All right.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear that you will not drive any motor vehicle without the court approval? Yes. Okay.
Done.
Yep. Okay. Go. Hand me my screen box.
Oh Jesus, this person had clips.
So today is
No, I think that was just a...
September 11th, 2024. It's approximately 12:25 p.m. We are now in court 5. In front of me, I have Eaton Emitom, case number 2522688. Would you please identify yourself for purpose of the record?
The man Eaton Emitom.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? That you're going to tell the truth. That's it. Yes? Okay. State, would you identify?
On behalf of the state.
Okay. So the reason that we're putting this on the record now is Mr. Emitom has been charged with the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon. The case is 40 days old. It appears that probable cause has already been found. I don't know if I did probable cause on this, or if I don't know if another judge did, because I don't remember Mr. Emitom, and I was out a week. Yeah, lollygagging. So let's just do it first.
On August 2nd, 2024, officers observed a car without a front license plate, changed lanes without a signal, and have expired registration as of March 2023. Upon approaching, officers smelled marijuana. PC search returned 4.17 grams and a loaded Smith & Wesson handgun. Additionally, there was a backpack with 3 checks that did not belong to him. Officer called Kumamoto, who said the checks were stolen from her restaurant on July 8th. When defendant broke the front window, went to the back where the checks were kept in the office, broke the hinge of the back door and exited.
That sucks. Okay, so he had a firearm he wasn't supposed to have and allegedly stole checks from a restaurant. That's not good. How was he planning to cash those?
So as a result, because of that, he was charged with felony fraud on that one, on the check. Okay. Yes, he has an open case in the 182nd. Looks like he made a $15,000 bond. With us, I am going to find there's probable cause to go forward.
Thank you for the link, Thinking Sabercat. Looks interesting. What in the world? Hold on, let me save this for another day. Cool.
Well, hold on a second. We'll get there. I'll let you say your piece, but do you have a Texas driver license?
I have a U.S. private property number with the FM
So that's a no. That's not a driver's license.
CSA. What my vehicle was on there, it was sticker tags, everything with my business, the Amazon States. That's with the Department of Transportation.
Is that from the state of Texas or from where?
This is federal. This is with the Department of Transportation.
Okay, but you still need a Texas driver license and you need registration and
I did all my steps with them because it was private property that I had. They said I didn't, if I didn't need to get registration with the state of Texas because I registered it. And they said that would be my voluntary, but since it's private property, I wouldn't have to register it.
Okay. From what I know of the law, you need a Texas driver license to be able to drive.
This is, what jurisdiction is this case being tried on? That's I'm trying to.
Sorry, there's a lawyer off to the left slightly that you can't see who, when he was like asking those questions, just kind of looked at him like, what are you doing?
Because I kind of don't know what it's being tried on.
It's
criminal, civil.
Criminal, yeah. Right, you're facing jail time, right?
I believe so.
Weren't you taken to jail?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't lead you to believe it's criminal, right?
Yeah, but under common law, or is it military and tribune? Because also with
I've been waiting for something like this for so long.
Is this a military tribunal?
This is so much fun.
I'm just trying to see what I'm being tried on, because what I was told with the U.S. side, I wouldn't have to register with the state of Texas with the registration or licensing. I do have my own place with that vehicle too as well. So,
you need a license to drive, a Texas driver license. That's it. You either have one or you don't. The federal government has regulated to the states through the Constitution that they have allowed the state
relegated
on their
regulated, I think,
own initiative to create laws regarding driving on highways and byways. So that's why you see every single state has different requirements for licensing, insurance, mode of transportation. The federal government has somewhat to do with it, but by and large, they have delegated to the states that they are their own entity with regard to creating laws in their specific highways. So that's why every single state has a different type of license, different type of insurance. Like the Texas driver license is white versus Arkansas might be yellow or red, or Hawaii might be. So that's every single state has their own laws with regard. In Texas, you have to have a Texas driver license. You also have to have liability insurance as a minimum.
This is interesting. He's trying to explain very thoroughly. Normally, I don't see judges try to do this. I appreciate that he's trying to actually explain to this guy as well as he can what he needs.
In the event that you get into an accident. Those are the two main requirements that you need to drive. If you're going to drive a vehicle, it also has to be registered so that they know that you're driving the vehicle and that you own it or have the right to have that, so it's not a stolen vehicle.
I own the vehicle and everything. When I was here the last hearing with the judge, like what he was saying, he said that when it had applied to me, but he was going to see what they were going to say about the other court, about the probable cause of stopping me, because he said registration when it had in the front license plate, when it had applied to me.
It does apply. It applies to everybody. Everybody has to have a back license plate. They also have to have a front license plate. And so much, they also tell you where it has to be on the car. They regulate, you can't put it in the windshield.
State, right?
State,
yeah,
right. They tell you where it has to be. You can't put it on the windshield. You can't put it on, like on, what's it called? On the light. It's got to be right there. They even tell you how many centimeters it's supposed to be from the street to the actual place on the car. That's how bad the state of Texas micromanages all these things. They even tell you how many damn centimeters it's got to be on the car. So you have to have a front license plate. You got to have a license, got to have insurance. So if you don't have that, you can't drive.
MH Dark Beast with a link says, Happy Friday the 13th. Hope you're having an appropriate meal for dinner. And then there's a link. Oh, this scene. Is this the scene on the turlet?
Damn enchiladas!
You gonna be all right?
This is from Friday the 13th, part 3, I want to say. Is this 3 and they sing to each other while he's on the toilet? No, it's from 5. Wow. That's a failure on my part.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Yeah, and then he gets killed by Jason.
Hey, baby.
Wait, no, because there was Kristen Glover. That's not part 5, is it? Kristen is in part 3? Right? Because that's the dun dun dun. Whatever. It's SovCit day. I can't talk about Friday the 13th.
And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't tell him I was traveling. I wasn't arguing with him, but I was traveling. I wasn't making commerce. I used to do medical transportation, so I'm kind of aware with licensing, the registration, and everything. That's why for my private vehicles, I did that with the U.S. DOT instead of the state. But I didn't know.
Okay, is it part 4? Okay, neither of the videos had the right label then, I don't think.
That was
correct. You need a license. It doesn't matter whether you're saying you're conveying, whether you're traveling, whether you're, driving. It's a privilege. It's not a right. Right? There's a big difference between a privilege versus a right. You have the right to walk.
I have the right to travel, don't I?
Yeah, taking your happy-go-lucky feet. You want to travel? Take those 2 feet to travel, not in a car.
Just what the 14th Amendment was saying, like I have the right to travel.
You do, yes, and you can walk your happy ass from one part to the other part. Not in a car though, not without a license and insurance.
It was on there from what I did this with the Department of Transportation. Like I said, automobiles were on there, carrier, bicycles.
They're wrong. I'm just telling you now, they're wrong. Whoever told you that, where you got that, it's complete. Because imagine this, Mr. Emmett, and I've seen this before. Imagine that you get into an accident, right? And you kill a 5-year-old kid. What's going to happen at that point? Whoever owns that car, the other people, they're going to come after you. They're not going to go after they're going to come after you. The first thing they're going to do is, do you have insurance? And if you don't have insurance, they're going to sue you. And then they're going to attach a lien on absolutely everything that you own to satisfy the judgment they get against you. And they will take your house, they will take your car, they will take your bank account, they will attach to where if you ever want to start working and get a paycheck, they're going to garnish all that money. You have insurance, liability insurance, so that if you ever get into an accident, you don't mean to do it. You didn't mean to kill the kid. It's not an purposement. It's an accident. And accidents happen. You might be looking at your phone, you're looking at, this pretty girl that's walking across the street, and then boom, you have insurance so that if that happens, the insurance company will pay on your behalf so you don't have to pay out of your own pocket. And they will even give you a lawyer to represent you on your behalf, because that's what you pay for when you get insurance. If you get into an accident, lawyers usually call you and say, hey man, tell me what happened. Was it your fault? Was it the other people's fault? Because we want to know who to pay. And that's why for $30 to $40 a month, you get insurance.
This is excellent, Screaming at the Radio. I almost wonder, he talked like he was excited, and I wonder if he had thought about for a while, oh, if I ever ran into a sovereign citizen, what would I say to them? Because it feels like he was ready for this.
For that very purpose. And I've seen people come here, they have killed someone, and they get a $250,000 judgment against them. I've seen it. And God, you'll never dig yourself out of that. So the conveying, the this, that, you need a license. You've got to have insurance. And we do it with every single person that comes here.
So can I say for the unlawful carry, the possession of marijuana, the person that was in the vehicle told the officer it was legal hemp that they got from the store. They have receipts and everything in Texas. You can have legal hemp. They got it from the store. He even told the officer it was theirs. He pulled me out the car. He didn't ask for any paperwork.
Now you're making the apples and oranges, right? Now we got to test it. Is it weed?
Oh yeah,
is it him? Understand that takes time, but you also need a lawyer to represent you.
I found my own discovery. I was representing myself pro se.
And you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
But we have to go through a series of questions.
I'm representing myself plenty of times. I had dismissals here from
Remember, and for purposes of the record, so Mr. Emitom had a case with me here. It was May, it was actually June 7th of 2022. He was charged with another gun case, and that was with Victoriano. God, that was a great TA too. And I found no probable.
This judge is very interesting.
Cause in that case, right?
No, this isn't from Old Squishy Gardner. This is from Court of Public Opinion.
You didn't represent.
Thinking Sabercat says, at least with modern medicine, there's nothing like the description in This Funny But Slightly Real Thing. As I'm 48 in December, remember the childhood in the 1980s. I had a neighbor with a what? Why are you sending me a clip?
What was it?
Oh, I see. It's a comedy special. I thought it was a song, and I was very confused.
What was I talking about? Oh, I am in the restaurant and I laugh. Ha ha ha! You know the silly laugh. Ha 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 ha! The farty laugh. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! The kind of laugh that the guy at school that you felt sorry for had. You know the guy in your town or your village who walks leaning forward.
He looks like Scottish Jay Leno. Trey says, you can tell he's been practicing this dialogue. He's waited years for this. I don't know who, but I just know after this he called someone and said it finally happened.
Do you know those guys? Hey. You know those guys?
Okay, that's all I'm doing.
Yourself in that case. I found no probable cause and they dismissed it. They didn't have to dismiss it, but they did dismiss it. So other than that case, have you ever represented yourself?
Yeah, many times. Dismissals all through different areas, kind of traffic violations.
You're welcome to do it, you know, and you know, who's one of the worst, who's one of the best presidents that in history that you can think about right now?
To me right now.
You can't think of one good president that we've ever had?
I don't know any.
Abraham Lincoln, he wasn't good?
I never met him. I don't know about him at that time.
Abraham Lincoln said something. He goes, you know what?
I've never met him.
He who represents himself has a fool for a client. That's what he said. Meaning that when you represent yourself, there is an inherent conflict and there's an inherent bias, and you may not be able to see things objectively, meaning that you have your heart, you've got your soul into this case. So you may not be able to see from an outside position if they're saying something that makes sense. You're absolutely entitled to represent yourself. And if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to it. And I have no problem with you doing it. You need to understand, though, if you represent yourself, you can't come at a later day and say, you know what, I had ineffective assistance of counsel. My lawyer sucked. Well, you represented yourself. You now can't complain about that. You know, if you go to trial and you lose, and I end up putting your butt in jail for a year, you can't complain. You're stuck like Chuck for a whole year, because that's what you're facing. You're facing a year in jail, and you got a bunch of other documents too that you know. So.
My discovery from that last month that I filed.
Well, let's do the question. So, what is your full name?
Eton Chiroke Emiton.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Where were you born?
In America.
Were you born here in Houston? Were you born in?
Texas.
Okay. You read and write English, right? Okay. Do you have any learning disabilities or communication handicaps? Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent or treated for any mental health disorder? Okay. You said last time I asked you about your educational background, you graduated from high school.
Graduated high school, some college.
Dillis Filler says, can we keep him? I mean, he apparently doesn't come across sovereign citizens very often, if ever, so I don't know how often we'll get to see him, but...
Where'd you get in college?
2.5 years.
Did you do any legal courses whatsoever?
Left that and I started doing medical transportation. I was taking classes for paramedics. I was just doing my basics. I was doing my basics.
Studying in college.
I was just doing my basics. I ain't getting sweat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And when you're beginning, that's all you do anyways, right? Do you have any legal training, education, or experience?
I've had experience with dealing with the court being charged before.
And any other legal? Do you know about the Code of Criminal Procedure?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Do you know about the Texas Penal Code?
I'm familiar, but I'm not too familiar with a lot of statutes and codes.
Were you here for?
I'm familiar with the existence of the codes.
For our earlier trial?
No, I went upstairs.
I know you went to the felony court, but we were in trial earlier. Did you see what happened in trial earlier?
I got like a glimpse of it walking.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that the lawyers on both sides had to introduce evidence. There's a specific procedure that you have to follow to have evidence admitted. It's detailed in the codes. You have to know that, because once you represent yourself, I'm going to treat you as if you were a lawyer. I will hold you to the same standard, and I'm not here to put you through law school because I have way too much drama as it is. I don't need any more drama, right? So if you don't do it the right way, I'm going to shut you down.
He just called the courtroom procedures drama.
Right? I like to be nice to people, but I'm not taking you to school. Do you understand this? Do you understand the charges against you?
No, I don't understand the nature of it.
Okay, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail. What they're saying is that you unlawfully had a weapon. As a result, you were charged, and now you're facing up to a year. Do you understand?
Yeah, what they're telling me, but I still don't understand like why I went to jail for that. That's why.
What do you not understand?
The court procedures, or
No. I'm asking about the nature of the charges. No, it's not. Don't talk about the procedures. Don't talk about the licensing, about the conveying.
Yeah, I
No.
know I'm getting charged for unlawful carry. And
Right. Do you understand that?
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay. You have the right, or you understand the range of punishment that you're facing a year, correct?
That's what I've been told.
Okay. You have the right to court-appointed counsel. Do you want counsel to represent you?
I don't want legal advice. I don't need a legal team. I just want law.
If I offer you a lawyer now, would you want it? You really don't want a lawyer?
I represent myself. I could get none more by myself than anyone representing me.
Okay. Do you understand that you will not be able to claim ineffective assistance counsel if you lose at a later time, whether it's in trial, whether it's in a hearing, whether anything? Do you understand that? What that means is that you cannot appeal this thing. If you're found guilty and you go to jail, you know, a lot of lawyers or a lot of defendants like to claim, sorry guys, I'll be 2 minutes. A lot of lawyers, a lot of defendants like to blame their lawyers for screwing up. And they say—
He says 2 minutes, but then this video goes on for another 29 minutes or so that's not true.
Hey man, my lawyer messed up. I can tell you, like, that's the number one thing that defendants complain about. And probably, I don't know this for sure, but I would suspect probably the number one reason why cases are overturned because of ineffective assistance of counsel, meaning that a lawyer, for one reason or other, messed up so bad that their cases have to be redone. You cannot complain about that at a later time.
I've seen that many times. That's why I'm representing myself.
But you can't, if you mess up, you cannot appeal this thing. Do you understand? Once, and if you are found guilty, that's it. Do you understand? You also have to comply with the same—
To be fair, public defenders are very overworked. I would take an overworked public defender over my dumbass any day. At least they know the law.
Appellate procedures if you lose, meaning that if you want to appeal for one reason or the other, you have to understand the guidelines and the timing, and you have to comply with those rules as well. Do you understand? You will not be granted any special consideration because of your lack of formal training. Do you understand this? You may fail to properly raise points of error in the trial record if we go to trial. Meaning that if we go to trial and you object to something, because that's
I'm sorry. I'd hate to do this in the middle of a video, but I have to use the bathroom really bad. I'll be right back. Oh, real quick, Steve with a Q with 300 bits says this judge's advice should be part of every civics class in this country. Yeah, it's good. Right back.
You hear that a lot, right? I object. This shouldn't be in there. You have to object properly. You can't just say object. There has to be more to it. You have to state the reason for the objection. It has to be a legal reason. You can't just say, I object, and expect me to hold something out. You have to give the legal reason. And there's a proper method that you have to state and ask me to do things for it to be recognized on appeal. And if you don't know this, you cannot at a later date complain. Well, I didn't know that. You understand? You still don't want a lawyer. I will give you a free lawyer.
Yeah, the incarceration rate in the States is absolutely insane. It's genuinely unfathomable, the number of people we have in custody. It's not good.
Is this voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently made? No one's forcing you to do this. Okay. Knowing all this, are you sure that you still want to represent yourself? I got to tell you, I think that you look like a great guy. You look like you're upstanding. I have no problems that you represent yourself. Understand that you need to be careful what you tell them, though. Everything that you say, even if you think you're hurting yourself by admitting one thing or the other, you could be hindering your case, meaning hurting your case, even if you think you're helping yourself. Do you understand? I'll make you a deal. If at any time you want a lawyer, all you got to do is ask and I'll give you one. Really. If you ever feel like you're under the gun, that you feel like someone's taking advantage of you, I'm happy to give you a lawyer at any time. I want you to understand now, as a condition of your bond, though, I'm ordering you not to drive until you have a Texas driver license and a liability insurance. I'm ordering you not to drive. And I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
Travel, I have personal.
Okay. You are not allowed to get into the driver's seat of a car and drive, convey, travel, however you want to term it. You cannot do that. And if I find that you do that, I'm going to put you in jail. And I'm going to make your bond so high, your head's going to spontaneously combust.
Jesus Christ!
Do you understand?
That way, my rights to anything? Or...
No.
I feel like this judge speaks softly and carries a big legal stick.
But I'm telling you that you can't drive, convey, get into the driver's seat of a car. If you do, you're going to go to jail because I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? The only conditions I'm putting on you now are 3. no weapons, no picking up new cases, and don't get into the driver's seat of a car and drive, convey, travel. Are there any other adjectives that you can think of?
Sure there are, but
I guess I'll put etc. so that it
Ambulate. Can ambulate count towards a car?
tries to cover any type of wording, so to speak. All right.
Yeah, they're
So,
verbs.
Mr.
It's
Emmett, I'm
fine.
going to find that you are okay to represent yourself. We need you to sign a form that you're going to do that.
even if I don't
Oh, he probably
consent to
did
any
mean
of these charges,
synonyms.
because I do have my paperwork, I do have.
If you don't consent, just go. If you don't think we have jurisdiction, look, if I didn't think anyone had jurisdiction over me, do you think I would be here? If I was in your shoes? Hell no, man. If I didn't think that someone didn't have jurisdiction over me to be anywhere, I'm not going there. I'm not gonna get out, take a shower, put my clothes on, because I like to be naked, right? You know, I'm not doing anything.
Wow, it's not often the judge has the weirdest line of a sovereign citizen. Thing, does it? Jesus.
That someone didn't have jurisdiction over me to be anywhere, I'm not going there. I'm not gonna get out, take a shower, put my clothes on, because I like to be naked, right? You know, I'm not doing
That bailiff knows, too. That bailiff knows he likes to be
anything like that, you know? So if you don't think we have it, just go. Otherwise, you're here. You know we do, right? Because if you,
I don't know, that's why I thought.
let me ask you this. If you just took off now, what would happen? There you go. What does that warrant mean?
This guy's incredible, walking him through like, what do you think authority is? Bumble Homestead says, well, I have a guess where Judge spends his holiday.
What does it mean?
On, or what do you mean as far as like the warrant down?
As far as jurisdiction is concerned, do you think that, look, do you think that an officer is going to go out and actually pick someone up if they didn't think they had jurisdiction to do it? Do you know how much trouble they would get in? Do you know if Stephen went out there and arrested someone now just for shits and giggles, do you know how much trouble he would get in? Right? If he had no reason to do it, do you know how much trouble he would get in? Right, a lot. He'd lose his job. He'd probably get sued, right?
Sophie, thanks for following.
Can't claim immunity. He'd be toast, Swiss cheese. So that's what I'm saying. If you didn't really think that we didn't have jurisdiction, then go.
I had to take care of this matter because
you know we have jurisdiction.
I don't know, because I was going to go to 515 arrest and file my lawsuit, my civil lawsuit with the officer who did arrest me because they did some unlawful, unconstitutional things that they did to me at that time. So I was going to take it there. You know, I didn't believe they had jurisdiction over me.
I would wait to see how this case goes first before you do that. You know, see how the case goes first before you start jumping the gun.
Like that's what I was waiting.
You know, but ultimately, you know, if I didn't think anyone had jurisdiction over me, I'm not going to go there, man. I have enough important things to do in my life as it is. I mean, you've been sitting here since 8:30 in the morning, where it's now nearly 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Really. Let's get this thing done. That way you can move on with your life. We can move on with our life and just everybody be happy. That's what it's about. All we want to do is protect our city. That's all we want to do, you know, and I'm going to do it at all costs. That's it. All right. I'm going to have you sign this affidavit. After that, we'll get you out of here. And so, Mr. Emitom, you are going to have to make a plan to meet with Mr. Petrov here so that you guys can exchange evidence. He is our chief DA here. He's the one who gets all the evidence. He's the one that's going to present it to you. You can either do it here in court with us, or you can meet with them at their office, because you're going to have to get the evidence to look at it regardless. I'm happy to take any motions that you have now, and I can look at them, and then we can come back at a later date and I can roll on it for you. I see that you have a bunch of papers. I'm happy to take anything that you have, and I'll take a look over it. You know,
The clerk, last month.
do you see anything?
I have the
Which clerk did you file it with?
I have it right here, the copy.
Imagine he filed it incorrectly. SovCits usually do.
Right? We would still get it then, right, or no? Can we go back on the record?
The state would, I mean, the state wouldn't even be able to comply with this order because it's asking for an immediate order of discovery. It sounds like spontaneously going to give.
Well, other than
the
that,
opposing party.
I mean, and is he asked?
And it's not, the language is not aligned with current procedure or penal code. But beyond that, the only two pieces that are requested that are reasonable that I can produce with a timeline are 1 and 7.
So we did a discovery request incorrectly.
Tom, understand that you will get discovery, but sometimes it takes time. It's not immediate. It takes time to build a case, to get videos, 911 calls, reports from officers. It takes time. It's not immediate. In your motion, I guess it says he wants it immediate.
Immediate order.
There's just no way. We can't.
An inspection. Yeah.
But we will get it to you as he gets it, he will give it to you. I can grant you the order. I will take off the immediate provision, but I can grant you everything that you want. I'll give you their case file. I can give it to you when they get it.
Yes, but Judge, this discovery order is requesting things outside of the scope of discovery.
Well, I'm not going to give him the kitchen sink. I mean, like what?
Everything else. I mean, so 1 and 7 are aligned. 1 is requesting any documents, papers, books, accounts, letters, photographs, videos, which are body cam, objects or tangible things not privileged which constitute or contain evidence. Of course, I'm going to hand that over.
Okay.
2, any and all names of any witnesses, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas.
I mean, that's so broad, Mr. Emmett.
Or any political.
I mean, you want every single witness in Harris County? That's what that's asking for.
You have to properly represent myself for the case.
No, but you need to specify. You said all witness.
That's 4.2 million people. Really? Really?
So that doesn't, it's.
I mean, I'm not going to grant that. That's silly.
It's too.
You want,
it doesn't go into just.
I mean, imagine any and all names of any witness for the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, County of Harris, or any political subdivision thereof may have. That's so broad that to even try to comply with that would take years. That's, I mean, in relation to this case, yes, nothing else.
This is why it's good to have a lawyer, because they know how to word things correctly, so they're asking for the right things. H-Bird says, nobody tell Trump that you can subpoena entire cities.
Nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is this case and nothing else. So I'm happy to comply with the names of witnesses in this particular case. Yes, I will do that. And I can mark on there for this case only. Are you okay with that?
Your Honor, in the event that you were to grant something like that, it would need to be filed by the defendant. What you're granting.
The judge is clearly trying to help him, give him the benefit of the doubt.
What is written, not what is subsequent.
Which is so funny, because the judge was like, I'm not gonna treat you any different than a lawyer, and he already is. But I get it. He's trying to help. He's trying to help.
Modified.
Okay, so I guess
the language just needs to be correct.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is, you're right, Kyle. I mean, right.
So I just wanted to clarify that for the record.
You're representing yourself. I can't do the work for you.
Yeah, I appreciate him trying to help, but I also understand the prosecution being like, you can't edit his things for him. I understand where that's coming from, but I appreciate the judge wants to help, but I also get he can't fix his work for him.
Right. He so kindly is reminding me that, because I'm trying to, right. So that's too broad.
We can go down the list if you wish, but.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we have.
3, a true and complete original or certified alleged contract with wet ink signatures between the petitioner, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, or political subdivisions thereof may have law states that in order for the Harris County, and it's not even citing law, valid lawful contract between the petitioner, let them bring it forward for petitioner's inspection or immediately dismiss all charges. I believe this is going into UCC. This is not.
I mean, here you're going into the sovereign.
Also, your motion asks the prosecution. I guess the prosecution can like dismiss charges. That's fair, but like it's weird that you're asking in your discovery request, like give me this discovery or dismiss this case.
Type language.
Just common law.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, I will not be agreeing with that.
Here, there's no. I mean, you're saying a true and complete original and or certified copy of the alleged is not even spelled correctly, contract with wet ink signatures between the petitioner and the Harris County Superior Court. I mean.
So I'm opposed to that.
What contract?
Contract complaint, whatever. I know this is statutory.
Marcus Drake says, at least in Pennsylvania, when you're pro se, judges are supposed to hold parties to the same standard as a lawyer, but also judges have a duty to construe pro se filings liberally. It's a vibes-based economy. Your sister says, this is from another person, hey Hannah, my sister says she isn't voting because Kamala's pro-Israel in Project 2025 is already happening. What would you tell her? I would tell her that's not true. Project 2025 isn't happening. I think Kamala's much less pro-Israel than Biden was, and frankly, oh god. See, I want to get mad, and that's not a good way to convince people. No, Project 2025 is not already federally being applied. If you would like to prevent that, then you should vote for Kamala. If you'd like to mitigate any potential negative things from Trump, of which there are many, you should vote for Kamala. I don't really know what else to say.
It's not going over
Carbcosian with a 3-stream streak says, yay.
common law, so I'm not familiar with the statutes like I explained before.
Well, you're a lawyer now. You're going to have to familiar yourself with it.
Yeah,
try me on
that's true. If she's concerned about Israel primarily, Trump will be much worse on Israel. Much, much worse. It will be a material difference for the lives of people in Gaza if it's Trump or if it's Kamala.
I want to be tried on common law.
You're going to have to do it. I'm not sure. There's no common law here. Everything's done by statute. There's no common law here. It's all done by statute. And since you're the lawyer, you need to know that.
I recognize the steps of the statutory steps. That's why I don't recognize being tried in jurisdiction.
Let me ask you this. How on earth are you going to represent yourself if you don't even know that?
So I get everything I need in my discovery.
He's going to give you body cams. He's going to give you 911 call. He's going to give you witness lists. And that's it. Right? Is there anything else that would be in here?
I would, so there may be dash cam I need to check. So I haven't gotten the body cam or dash cam yet. I need to check what all this.
Mr. Emmett Tom, I mean, let's get real. If you're having problems with things of this very elementary nature, how are you going to represent yourself? I'm happy to give you a lawyer. You know, but some things are just, I mean, there's no.
We must conclude this hearing with the remainder of the list as well, and then we can go with
Well, hold on, it's just so he knows. So number 4, a true and complete original and or certified copies of the criminal record of the attorneys.
You want the criminal records of the opposing counsel? If they even have one, what would it matter? They're not on trial. They're the prosecution. What are you talking about?
Record, judge.
Oh, the judge too.
Magistrate, pro tem, commissioners, witnesses, as well as all officers of this court.
All officers of the court? Come on.
Yeah, that doesn't apply here. Really. I mean, you don't, my criminal history? You think I have criminal history?
Do I need to ask a higher court or a higher court look at this matter, or?
I mean, you certainly can. You can do anything you want to in life until someone says no, right? But I don't know where you're going to get. I mean, appellate courts need jobs too. How far are you going to get? I don't know. How much money are you going to waste? I don't know. A true and complete certified copy of all oaths commissions, as well as bonds of all officers of the court, including but not limited to deputies, court clerks, judges, magistrates, pro tem, commissioners that have or may decide to involve themselves in this matter, appointed or elected, signed under penalty for perjury on and for the official public record.
State as opposed.
Well, I don't know what bonds you're talking about. What bonds? Like James bonds?
Bonds, bid bonds,
Which ones?
appearance bond, bid bonds.
I'm not familiar with that.
After that.
The political affiliation of any and all states, witnesses, and all officers of the court. So I can't.
State as opposed.
I mean, right. Any evidence which in any way is exculpatory to the case. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, legally they have to give that to you.
Anything in state's possession, I'm unopposed to. I will produce anything exculpatory that's in our possession, but.
Called discovery, you dickhead.
Number 8, documented proof of claim of injury signed under penalties of perjury with all immunities waived from the judges of this court, attorneys of record, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, County of Harris, as well as this court, and for the official record. Documented proof of claim of injury signed under penalties of perjury. To what are you referring to there?
Or the opposing party who made the complaint.
What?
Against me, whoever made the complaint against me, who's the opposing party.
Okay, well, the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Party they have the complaint, who's the, I don't recognize who that is.
What do you mean you don't recognize?
So the state of Texas or Harris County's, what was that?
Right, so they alleged that you did something unlawful. As a result, the officer arrested you and then brought that information all to the Harris County District Attorney's Office. And then they, in a two-pronged matter, number 1, I found probable cause in this case, and then a grand jury indicted you on your felony case. So it's the Harris County.
I haven't been indicted on that. I just came from upstairs. I haven't been indicted on that case yet.
Has it been indicted or no? Oh, well, I mean, they have, I think, up to 180 days to indict you, but
Juggle, okay.
not been indicted yet, okay.
Where's the third ball?
I mean, I guess, would it be the information that he's asking for? You want the charging instrument, I guess, is what you want.
Your Honor, again, I think it's just
I know that it's
a total misunderstanding, but if it were rephrased correctly, I can better understand what is being asked. And therefore, that's why I cannot agree to this order, because
I get it, but I'm trying to go through it with him so that he understands.
If it aligns with if it aligns with something I can understand, sure. I mean, I can understand what's being asked, and then I can turn it over, but I don't have that. This is not that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what's not being understood.
Here, let's go through number 13, just because there's a lot here that you got 16 and it's already 130. The CUSIP number tied to this case, which will show that this court and or officers of the court are profiting off this case, and it is trading on the stock market on and for the official public record.
I mean, I am the trustee for the name time. It's right here. Administrator, I'm the beneficiary for their name. I've been the trustee. I have all my paperwork that I need to prove to the court.
And that may well be good for federal stuff, but not for us. This is state.
I'm not familiar with a lot of statutes.
That's a certain way to try and sidestep the SovCit argument.
A copy of all officers of the court registration report and profile, which is registered under Dunn and Bradstreet on and for the official public record. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through this motion more. It needs to be more specific.
One, just for the record's purposes, to say as opposed to this motion in its entirety at this time.
So not 1 and 7.
Not with the media, not that language.
Oh, right.
And we're gonna modify that.
So it needs to be more specific. And you need to have a more like realistic guideline. They can't give you stuff immediate because he may not even have it in his possession. So I can't order him to give you something that he doesn't have in his possession.
How soon can they get next trial date? My next court date, will they have it, or how soon?
I don't even know. I mean,
the body cam and dash, I can escalate that by the next court date. The lab, I'm unsure of a timeline at this time. The lab of the substance.
okay. And I'm going to tell you now, it takes a lot. It takes quite a while to get labs done because, I mean, you imagine we live in a city with 4 million people. Do you know how many people get arrested with alleged illegal substances that have to be tested? You get in line in front of everybody else.
I have the lab results from the store that I got it from. I have the store that is in the lab result papers that they got it.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you could certainly use that as like evidence in the case, but like the state's still going to do their own test. It's not going to stop their test. Certainly, those things could potentially help you as exhibits in your trial if you go to trial, but they're not going to not test it.
From in Houston, so I could submit that as well if it makes it quicker. I mean, I know you still have to do your own.
I know that you're saying that, but remember, there's always two sides to the story.
True.
So they need to test what they have to see what that is, and it's going to take a while, but it'll get done. You just be patient, but it'll get done.
At this point, we are pending body cam dash in the lab. That is what discovery is pending.
Typically, what we do is we'll set it out 30 days, and then we'll just have you come back. And when you come back in 30 days, we'll see where they are. And then at that time, you guys can make a plan to go over the evidence. And you're not going to give him a copy though. He's just going to have to review it.
I believe it's subject to inspection.
Right. So you're going to have to come, bring a computer.
USB.
It's not through VHS, it's through.
I'm unaware. I'll familiarize
Nice chromatic cuttlefish.
myself more before the next court date of the transfer of.
You're going to probably need to bring yourself a computer that has a CD-ROM because usually they have stuff on.
Oh my God, that's an ask. That's an ask, honestly. I get it. Like, it's his response, like, he's choosing to be his own lawyer. Asking a random person to bring a computer with a CD-ROM, oh my God, that is tough. You're gonna have to get, like, a laptop, and then, like, you're probably gonna have to buy a separate CD-ROM drive with a USB on it or something. They don't even, like, make laptops often with CD drives anymore.
On CD-ROM drives or on CDs so that you're gonna have to be able to look at it. Any kind of dash cam, any kind of body cam, they usually put it on a CD-ROM or on.
Wow, they really need to start putting stuff on USBs or something. That's really annoying.
A CD.
Like, I know the government tends to be behind on technical stuff because everything is standardized and it takes a long time, but holy shit, that's just ridiculous.
You need to be able to look at it. The only other thing I need you to do is I need you to swear to us that you're not going to drive. I am making it a condition of your bond.
I hold that until I put all this some stuff in my paperwork. I don't drive. I don't go by driver's license. I have my passport that I do go by.
I need you to do it now. Okay, I need you to do it, and I'm making it a condition of your bond that you sign the document that you're not going to drive.
I missed the judge asking if it was VHS. Seriously?
Contract doesn't say anything or agreement say anything like that because I'm still trying to see the.
I'm going to revoke your bond if you don't sign it. I'm going to revoke your bond. That's it.
I've got to be forced to sign that. If I don't sign it, I can't have the option to take that.
Oh, no, I'm not, you don't have to sign it, but I'm going to revoke your bond.
But then what matter of that?
Sorry?
I don't understand why my bond will get revoked because of that.
Because I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive, convey, travel, any way you want to put it, behind the wheel of a car in Harris County, Texas, unless you are properly licensed.
Altered Undying says, I think with a thumb drive or something, a devious person could put a virus on the drive. I mean, you're getting it from the court. They could put it on a CD too. Like, you can put it's a CD. You can put whatever, you can put any data on it that you could put on a thumb drive.
With a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name.
And liability on my cars, I don't. I go by my U.S. passport now. I don't go by my Texas driver license. I don't go by my license anymore. Not commercial.
Nevertheless, I'm having you sign a document that you understand and that you promise that you're not going to do it.
I don't understand it fully, but that's fine.
If you don't, that's okay, but I am going to revoke your bond. And that's it. Correct.
Can force to sign this right now, or just like, because
You don't have to sign it. You know the consequence.
never heard of it. So
You're hearing it now. If you've never heard it before, you're hearing it now.
How long will it speak?
For the entirety of the case.
I mean, I can get my driver's license.
If you do, if you get your driver's license and show me that you have.
I'm not a commercial driver. I don't.
Fair enough, altered undying. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, I don't engage in commerce. I don't do it.
Do you think that the 5-year-old kid that gets hit and killed in a car, or the 69-year-old grandmother that ends up paralyzed from an accident, cares whether you were conveying, whether you were in commerce, non-commerce? Injuries don't care whether you're conveying, whether you're traveling. Accidents happen whether you're conveying, whether you're driving, whether you're traveling. That doesn't care, right? When you get into an accident, it doesn't matter in what method you're doing it. An accident is just that. And if you have an accident, I want to make sure that the other party will be taken care of. I'm only asking you to follow the law. I'm not asking you to split the atom here. Great.
Break the law, any of that, but
Great. I'm asking you to sign this. If you don't have to, but I'm going to revoke your bond. That's it. And Mr. Emerton, if you get a Texas driver's license and you get insurance, I will take this deal off.
that's what I believe in, and that's believe the Constitution. I don't.
That's okay.
They trying to imply that I need to get a license and insurance, and I used to be a commercial driver for this day. I don't commercial drive anymore. I don't do medical transportation. I'm just a.
Did you hear what I said about an accident, about whether you're
I
conveying or
understand
traveling?
exactly what you mean about the accident.
Okay.
I know if I was to get on the accident road with no insurance, I could get sued and there'll be a civil matter and I go to jail. I understand that. That's why I travel very cautious. I don't.
Yes, if he revokes his bond, it means he goes to jail.
You just said I drive.
I'm saying I
I
travel
drive.
very
You
cautious.
said the.
I'm very cautious. I don't.
You just said I drive.
I'm saying I
I
travel
drive.
very
You
cautious.
said the magic words.
I was a driver.
Come on. Don't be Helen Keller. Come on. And I'm trying to protect all of Harris County.
I don't know that.
You're protecting you. I'm protecting all the 4.2 million people here. That's what I'm doing. Because if you get into an accident, I know
Judge would make a good Twitch streamer.
that you're not going to be out a dime out of your pocket. But all those other people, they're going to be out a crap load of money. And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County. And I don't care if I offend you. I don't care if I make you mad. I don't care if your sensibilities are upset. Don't care. I don't. All I want is every person protected. And that's it. And I'm doing what the law requires. I'm not asking you to do anything that's not outside the law. And you, as acting as a lawyer, should be able to look it up and see, because it's all in the transportation code. So you can sign it. If you don't, I'll have you meet with Stephen. That's it.
I just want my rights reserved.
They're reserved.
I'm waiving my rights to the court.
No.
I mean, that's waiving my rights. It's a contract. It's me.
What right are you waiving?
My right to travel. That's infringing my right to travel with the Constitution.
No,
I wanna protect
no.
the rights of
Take the
14
Dodge Patas.
14, I don't know what that means.
Happy trails. Use your feet. You can travel with your feet.
Yeah, I can. But I live in Austin. I don't live here. So.
Take a bus. Take an Uber. But I want to make sure if you're caught driving, I'm going to put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond so high you will spontaneously combust, because I want you to understand that I mean business and I'm protecting every single person I can. And that's it.
The court forcing me to sign this right now.
No. No,
Threaten me with jail or arrest if I don't sign this? Right?
correct. That is correct. That's correct.
Imprisonment if I don't sign this. This is on the record?
It's on a record. I have the report right here. And it's on video. Can you follow the bond conditions as well? No driving without a license, please.
Oh, good, he signs it.
What? What is going on?
Good. Sheesh. That was interesting. That judge did a really good job. It's tough to deal with sovereign citizens, but I think he did about as good as he can do. Nice. Okay, let's move on. Chat. The quantum grammar people are multiplying.
Welcome, everyone. This is Rachel Dara Prince, and I'm here with some very amazing guests. And not only are they special humans or special individuals or special people on the planet to me, but they're also people that are in my documentary films. I got some of the stars of my documentary films, The Raw Natural with David Avocado Wolf, as some of you know, and some of you might know him as
Oh my god! David Avocado Wolf was from the Mad House! Oh my god, he was on the show with the vampire guy! And the fake psychics! Oh no, he's into quantum grammar now! He was the nudist! He was the nudist! Damn it! Oh...
is David Wolf. And we also have Russell-J. Gold, Postmaster General of our world and Commander-in-Chief and many other titles that we'll get into in a minute. But this is going to be really exciting. And I'm just so thrilled to bring both of these gentlemen together who have not had an opportunity to talk yet. So we're all like pumped up and excited. So what I would like us to talk about on this podcast is...
Yes, he's a big anti-vaxxer.
The war on time that's happening, the eradication of the past.
The war on time? I don't think that's going to go very well.
Seeing, from Chief's perspective, we're seeing the end of governments. We're seeing the end of the United States of America when it came out of bankruptcy, and he was there to capture the flag. We're going to talk about that and get into that in more depth. And for those of you that might have seen Last Flag Standing, and you might understand it at a deeper level, and others will try to fill you in on this podcast. But so I want to talk about the eradication of the past, the censorship, the people are being deleted out of history in articles, online, in social media, Twitter, YouTube, gone, just like a flash. People can...
I'm sorry, are you claiming people being banned for like whatever TOS violations are being erased from history? I think that's a little melodramatic. H-Bird says the eradications of the past is caused by flying meatballs with chainsaw teeth. Solid Langoliers reference.
And just delete it, right? And even the styles manual that shows how we should be writing correctly in correct grammar, like when you write in italics or put brackets around things, like it's actually, they're deleting those books out of history. You can barely find them. I just found one in the library. And I got that into my hands, but
they're not doing a very good job deleting them then.
Just amazing what's happening with the erasing of our past. And so
is she just talking about it being difficult to find style guides for old courts? I mean, certainly that might be interesting from a historical legal perspective, but like, I'm not surprised they aren't still in print if they're outdated.
I want to talk about this war on time and how we're potentially moving into a future of, artificial intelligence. That seems like where Elon Musk wants us to be uploaded to a cloud, and Nike with their apps. And then
Nike with your goddamn apps.
It's like, what are they doing with the now space? What are they doing with the now? And we all know, because some of us here are yogis, it doesn't matter what happens in the past or the future.
Does that mean they're big fans of picnic baskets?
Future, because we're not there. It's the present, and that's the gift, right? And that's Chief's specialty is the now space. And he captured the now space, and I want to get into that. And I know you two are going to have fun with that esoterically. So, but before we do, I want to introduce, let's bring in Russell J. Gould, and just, why don't you just give us a little background, and then we'll introduce David.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm Russell J. Gould, and I've been in the middle of a lot of comprehending corporate mechanics on a global level on the day-to-day accoutrements that we get caught up in business, from things such as small as our business licenses.
Is this not tinfoil? I mean, Russell-J. Gould is a sovereign citizen. Sovereign citizens in general are technically tinfoil. I think I even started watching Sovereign Citizens on Tinfoil Tuesday. It just became such a big genre that I kind of shunted it out into its own mutated show. But yes, they are sovereign citizens as well.
Transaction of money around the world. And it's been a journey for myself to...
I think when they say now space, they do literally just mean the present Avalon.
Find what caused contract to move from
point Avalon of Babylon.
A to point B, and the style of grammar that we go about things, and moving that all into a now space condition, because I'm concerned, like David, we were just getting a chance to talk about how they're just thwarting our concepts of the past and trying to tell us what they're going to do to us in the future, and they're staying everywhere trying to control the past and the future, but they're not controlling our now space. And that's because the now space is a condition where each one of us has the chance to control that through our own lifestyle, our own journey, our own findings, and our own freedom and our own love and light within us. And so I'm just going to kind of turn it over to David at this point and kind of see where he wants to go with it. I'm anxious to hear more about him because he's like me. For those who are listening, I've seen very little of David, but one of the things that really impressed me was that he never gives up. He knows what that means to have the tenacity to see things through in his studies and his journey of health and some of the...
I just want to hear David Wolf's bullshit.
Surface explanations. I go deeper, and I always have gone deeper, and so that's just been that's what led me to you, Russell. Actually, is I'm a live life claimant. I've gone through the process. I've got my
right on.
Got a cool little passport with my little live life claim on there. It's all changed around in my signature.
Yes. All right, bro. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hearing about it, learning the mechanics. I know that you learned about David and learned about me many years ago. You guys are probably going, well, how come these guys haven't really come forward? Unfortunately, David passed. That was a difficult thing for me to go through because there was a lot of things that, we wouldn't necessarily agree to. I'm more for the people. I'm more for the natural way of doing things. I'm more for, allowing the people to self-govern themselves and to kind of take the corporate structure off of our fellow mankind. And, unfortunately, David, they hold us down with finances and the silly things that they've put a value on. But the real value is our health. The real value is taking care of ourselves, loving.
Okay, I think that's almost
manifestation of love of who we are as a people to each.
I can't deal with more of that. That's genuinely, you can get like a month's worth of word salad in like 5 minutes with these guys. The quantum grammar stuff is just too much. Don't worry, we're done with word salad, chat. It's so much worse. How's Cataspin?
Cataspin, and I'm
oh god, she's so loud.
So excited to be live tonight. It feels like it's been forever. There was a little bit of a snafu. My live was down for about 2 months, and I had put in 8, maybe 10 requests to Rumble to get my show back up. And so here I am. And so I'm excited. Please join me on the live chat. I see some people are already getting on the live chat. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to be reading some of that chat tonight. And just what a show we've got going, right? Oh, Sherry, hi, how are you? Oh, and I see Stevie Bananas has been commenting as well. Thank you. How did you guys like the intro tonight? Believe me, I understand. One thing I don't understand or understand is, how it is there's a group of people who make a decision on what truth we are privy to knowing and that we can't handle the truth. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that may not be able to handle the truth. And I kind of likened it to learning a lot of the stuff that we're learning with law, with common law, and what's reality, because we're not really living in reality, right?
Some of us aren't.
It's definitely Alice in Wonderland, but it took a long time to really dive in to learn about what's going on in the court systems, how we're being stolen.
Where's she living now? I think she's at her boyfriend's place, or as she calls him, her twin flame.
From what the banks are doing in the background, how we can defend ourselves against these people who are always after us. I mean, they show it to you on the movies, right? On the movies, you've always got monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolves. There's a bunch of monsters, and they're always after humans.
That's definitely not true. Dracula was trying to come to Carfax Abbey, and yeah, he wanted to suck some blood. But Frankenstein's monster, he just wanted to live, man. And then he wanted a bride, and that didn't work out. She was freaked out by him. And then he told Dr. Pretorius, "Stay. We belong dead." And then they died. The Wolfman, yeah, the Wolfman tries to kill people. I can't really argue with that one. But no, Frankenstein, he's a peaceful dude.
Always.
Well, he accidentally killed a girl, but that was an accident.
Well, the vampires are kind of like the Cabal, because as you know, they have a little habit. And
the Mummy just wanted the reincarnation of Akman Senamun.
It has to do with vampires, right? What do they like to eat? What do they like to drink?
The Wolfman only killed while he was a wolf. Well, yeah, he's the Wolfman, obviously.
And we're just going to get real here, because, this is really what's going on, and people don't think it's true. But more and more people are starting to actually take a look at the evidence out there about what's going on in the underbelly of our world. And it's not okay. And I first got into this because it was for the children, had only to do with the children and what was coming down the pike with the masks and the vaccinations. And then we saw forced vaccinations.
Okay. Sorry, I'm already over her today too. I can't deal with the really annoying people today. Don't know why. Just can't. Let's try another one. That. This woman tries to run from getting pulled over, doesn't turn out well. She gets pulled out of she gets arrested in front of, I think, her daughter, which is kind of sad.
October 26, 2023, an Oklahoma City police officer.
H-Bird says they should make the man wolf. He's a reverse werewolf. He's a wolf except when the moon is full, he turns into a human and commits massive check fraud. Consider the X-Files episode Curse of the Were-Monster. It was from one of the last seasons of the revival. Check it out. Toreador says, "Oh damn, annoying people. Am I still good then?" You're good.
Officer on patrol pulled over a vehicle for speeding. The driver, exceeding the 60 miles per hour zone by 15 miles per hour, initially refused to provide her license and insurance, but after some delay, she complied.
I can hear you. I need driver license and insurance, please. I can't hear you. I need your window down. You're speeding. I'm not. You are. The speed limit's only 60. You're going 75. So is everybody else. Right. I can't pull everybody. Can I get your license and insurance? I need your driver license and insurance, ma'am. Do what? Okay. You got an ID on you? Okay, I need you to step out of the vehicle.
No, H-Baird. I didn't even remember that episode.
Do what? I can't hear you. can't hear you, ma'am. Can you roll the window down? Can you open your door so I can hear you?
She's trying to do right now. There we go. Okay.
I do have my camera on. Can I have your driver's license and insurance?
You don't have it on?
I do have it on. Can I have your driver's license? I'll call my supervisor. Can you come? Can I have your driver's license and insurance? Okay, I'll get one out here for you. I need your driver's license and insurance.
I'm going to run out of gas and the daughter's we were driving because she's hungry.
Okay, I get that, but the quicker I get your license and insurance, the quicker we can get out of here.
Okay.
The quicker I get your information, the quicker we can get out of here.
Okay, she's
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Turn your car off. Like, I get it if you're running out of gas. You should probably turn your car off.
While the officer verified her information, the driver claimed a medical emergency and abruptly took off in her car.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, getting out on the freeway like that's so dangerous.
Call an ambulance for you? Would you like me to call an ambulance for you? Okay. My supervisor, would you like my supervisor? He's still on the way. Okay. Would you like me to call an ambulance for you?
What do you realize he has to chase her?
A pursuit ensued, ending when the driver stopped at a gas station.
07 dispatch, my driver's taking off from me. We're going northbound. Getting on the turnpike. We're getting on the turnpike going eastbound. She ran from me. She said her daughter is having a medical episode. She just needs food, but she took off from me. I have her license.
This lady is a sovereign citizen, by the way. After she gets caught, she's like, I'm not contracting with you and stuff. They don't use a pit maneuver or anything on her. They wait, and she actually does pull into a gas station.
We're just at 55 right now. Just going to get on the turnpike right now. Eastbound Bryant pulling into the gas station.
When officer attempted to arrest her, she became combative.
You say, I don't know why you're following me around. You ran from a traffic stop.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car, ma'am.
Stop!
Ma'am.
I'm gonna skip ahead till when she's on the getting arrested more thoroughly, because the kid I feel bad for.
Ma'am?
Go! I am helping. I'm trying to get her food. I'm not contract with you guys. I'm not getting in here.
There it is.
Leave me alone. I didn't do anything. I'm not going. I didn't contract with you guys. Stop. I didn't contract with you.
The behavior of the mom makes me concerned she has mental health stuff going on, even beyond the typical sovereign citizen stuff.
I didn't do anything.
Because, like, she's making quite irrational decisions, especially with her kid in the car, running from the police. Not a good idea.
Work pretty hard, so stop, please, stop. Stop. Stop it. Stop. I didn't contract with you guys. I'm not getting in here. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I'm not. Okay, you can hurt me. I don't care.
We don't want to hurt
my daughter. I'm trying to get her food.
Cross your legs, okay? Cross your legs for me.
Just stop. You guys all trafficked open here, and you're sitting here doing this to women and children.
Ma'am, I'm Lieutenant Goodman. I'm the supervisor you asked for to come to the scene.
I know. He was laughing at me, and I
Sir Calica, thanks for 2 months of membership on YouTube.
needed to leave.
Calm down, listen, okay? Let me know, okay? He did his job, okay? She was not in medical distress. We could have sent an ambulance where you were if you needed one.
I want you to leave me alone, please. I didn't
That's not an
contract with
option,
you guys.
Okay? I don't even know what you mean by contract. You were violating some type of a traffic law that got you stopped.
It wasn't.
He realized that there was not a medical emergency there. He said he was going to write you a ticket and let you know what
He didn't, though. None of that's true. None of that. He did stop me.
Okay.
He did.
I'll tell you why.
He wouldn't. And then he said I was speeding, but I was going the same.
So that's what you're
But I was going the same speed as everyone.
Okay,
I wasn't speeding.
He told you why he stopped you.
He did.
He told you to go right to
Said I wasn't going to give him my license because I wasn't contracting with you guys.
I don't even know what that means. What do you mean by contract?
I'm not doing business here. So I told him, I gave him my license.
You know, are you a sovereign citizen?
I am. I'm not a
foreign country.
I believe in the laws of your country. Okay.
Okay, see, she even self-admitted sovereign citizen. They don't normally do that. I'm thinking mental illness.
And I told him
that you're accountable when you're speeding.
I am, but I wasn't speeding. I was going up the same thing as everyone else around me.
If you disagree with the charge, you're probably way to do that is go to court. I'm not sure why you think it's okay to drive away from a police
Because I
officer
told him that my daughter's blood sugar was low and that we had to get here because I'm out of gas and that she needed food immediately. When we left Norman, she was already low. And we
So
were
you
trying
drove
to
from
get
Norman all the way up to almost the Broadway extension without stopping to get her food, but all of a sudden it's an emergency when you get pulled over?
No, it wasn't an emergency when we got pulled over. Do you know anything about system? Okay, so it gives you alerts. Okay, well, it gives you alerts, and I got an alert, and we were trying to get to the food, but I don't just stop immediately.
How many restaurants did you pass?
No, sir, I didn't pass any. Not when she got low.
Between Norman and where you got stopped?
I was trying to tell you that we were coming from Norman, and I'm trying to tell you that her blood sugar went low. And this was the place that we had planned to get fuel and the food. And I was trying to get here to the exit.
So
I took
if
the
you
exit.
were willing to drive this far, then it was not an emergency. You couldn't stop long enough for him to conduct his business and you violated the traffic.
I asked him.
One or the other.
She was dropping at that point, and I was asking him. I said, I gave you my stuff. Can you please hurry? I'm not doing business here. And he's laughing. He's laughing. Your
See,
officer
everything's
is laughing.
recorded on car camera and body camera. We can address that. But we can't address things like that when you're violating traffic laws. Look how many police officers you have tied up here. Police helicopters coming, you got the highway patrol,
You have it,
our
sir.
officers.
You do.
That's what happens when you run from the police. Or
I
fail
didn't
to
run
stop.
from the police.
You left the traffic stop. You failed the
I
traffic
told
stop.
him, I said, you have my license and my insurance. This is an emergency. I need to go to that gas station. I'm getting her food. I'm not lying, and you
We
can't
would have
just
sent
sit
an
there and
ambulance
shake
to
your
your
head.
location if it was an emergency.
I'm sorry?
An ambulance would have been dispatched.
I don't want an ambulance. I can't pay for an ambulance. And we don't need an ambulance for low blood sugar. We don't need an ambulance.
America.
Sir, I know. I've lived with her since 2015 with this. We've had the police and
So
the
bottom
ambulance.
line is, you're being held accountable for the laws you invoke. This is all based on your conduct, not the officers. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
He didn't. He pulled. I wasn't speeding. I had 4 cars going the same.
That's what court's for. That's not. You don't take off from the scene if you disagree with it. You go
Well,
to
I take off if my daughter needs blood sugar.
No,
if she
the
needs
ambulance
sugar.
comes to you, the officer
No, that's not how we do it. That's how you do it. I don't
That's how
contract
people
with.
that obey the law do.
I don't contract with the ambulance. So you're going to impound my car too? Are you going to impound my car?
I mean, probably.
No. Listen.
Sit down.
I just need to ask. Come on, man.
You need to ask what? What do you need to ask?
I mean, can't somebody come get my car? Come on, I am poor, okay? And I just,
Is your body camera on? Will you turn? Oh yeah, come over here real quick. Let me.
I don't want you
All right,
guys to
what's your
look at
name,
me
ma'am?
anymore.
I'm Lieutenant Wegner, okay? I'm gonna have to do a follow-up investigation on the use of force when they had to pull you out of the car. Okay, you wanna give me a statement about what happened as far as
I
when
just
they
want
took you out
you
of
to
the car?
know that I wasn't deserving of being pulled over.
Okay, I know that, but I want you to just talk to me about what
No, I'm
happened when
being
you got
set
pulled
up.
out of the car. Do you wanna give me a statement about that?
I don't
Okay.
contract with you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I sympathize with the being poor thing too, but damn. This is just a shitty situation all around. Like, everything possibly went wrong. If we're to take her at her word, which why not? I don't know if she's lying or not, but let's assume the kid really did have low blood sugar and has diabetes or something. That's a shitty scenario to, like, be in. You should have, like, stuff around for that if you know your kid has diabetes, but, like, Some situations, maybe you don't. Get pulled over in a shitty situation. On top of that, you're also a sovereign citizen who doesn't understand how the law works. Not a good mixture of things happening. On top of that, you're afraid of the expense of potential, like, tickets and ambulance rides, and oh my god. Just a real culmination of shit going on in this video that's so unfortunate and very American.
It's all men, all men. And you know, we're in the 50th worst state for women to survive. And we're survivors of domestic violence. Her dad tried to kill her. That's why she has biotoxins. And we just still get destroyed by men here. All men standing around here, not a seat. And he trafficked with you guys. He trafficked with you guys in 2015. Methamphetamines. Officer Long, where is he? So disgusting. Your whole group is disgusting. My arm is broke. It hurts.
Despite a medical...
I'm guessing it was a vaccine thing as well, that she said something about biotoxins. I could be wrong.
Team's arrival, she refused medical attention, reiterating she wasn't in contract with them either.
I just don't want to contract with you. I just don't want to be checked out. So thank you. I'll just live with the broken arm. Okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Can you tell me your name?
No.
Okay.
Thanks. Appreciate it. And somebody that was out of gas that was going the same speed as everyone else. So he targeted us. That's what he did. I wasn't speeding. Actually, I have it on Life 360. I was going 63. It's on my Life 360. But it was on my Life 360. I was going 63 miles an hour.
It's going to be 80 degrees today.
You guys don't have to stand over me. I'm on the ground in handcuffs. You really don't. I don't. No, I don't. You're not going to lift my shirt up in front of all these men over here. Don't talk to me like that.
I'm gonna look in your face.
Okay? Me.
Please get in the car. Put your feet in.
I don't want to go to jail. I pray for you guys every day. Well, I do. And don't placate about it or play it down, because you don't know how many people that are connected that pray for you guys, that you have no idea the prayers that go up for people that are just running a bank. You're running a bank. That's what you're doing. This is a bank, and this man...
I really hope she gets some sort of mental health services, because I think she really needs it. This is meandery mentally, even by, like, typical SovCit standards. I think there's something actually going on here. I don't know if it's, like... I can't diagnose anyone, but I don't know if it's, like, some sort of schizotypal thing, because she's definitely talking in that sort of conspiratorial, odd way, but I don't know. She definitely needs help. Hope her daughter... gets some care too. What's going on there?
Me over at 63 miles an hour when I had the same cars going around me, and he just wanted to pick on a woman today. That's what I felt like. So I tell him that I needed to move on, and he starts laughing at me, and he wears the title supervisor, and he laughed at a woman that was just saying that we needed to go on. I'm not a criminal. This doesn't make me feel like a criminal. I'm going to write about this because I'm a writer. And I've published 2 books, and I'm going to write about you guys publicly. And right now, you're armed kidnapping. I'm not a 14th Amendment citizen, and I've let you know that. And I'm going to bill you. And what that means is I'm going to put it in an affidavit, and then I'm going to max it. It's called Maxim. And I'm going to build a whole case, and it's going to have your 2's name on it. And then I'm coming after your frickin' personal property, and I will put liens on your house. Your wife's house, your kid's house, and I will. So, you guys keep doing this, and you can't do this to people. We're living, breathing souls, and you're treating me like I'm property of a bank, because you're a bank. And I'm going to treat you like a bank personally when I'm done. You better start figuring it out, kid. You're riding around in the car with a badge, taking people off the street. I'm a citizen. Actually, I'm not. I'm not a 14th Amendment citizen. And you can't do this to people. You cannot. And there's going to come a day where your power changes, and then you're going to have these accountabilities for doing this to people.
Facing charges including fleeing and eluding, the driver was transported to the Oklahoma County Detention Center.
Which arm is the one that's hurt?
It's the left one.
The left.
Oklahoma, I can't imagine they have good mental health services.
Okay.
It's my elbow.
Okay.
In my arm. The back of it.
Okay. We're going to turn around and we're going to go inside.
I don't want to go in here.
Okay. We're going to have to go inside.
I don't want to go in here. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. I don't want to go in here. Your arm's kidnapping me. Yes, this is kidnapping.
Email, thanks for a $5 tip.
You're kidnapping me from the side of the road, dude.
Watch that curve. Thank you.
Dude, you're kidnapping me. I didn't do anything to go in here.
Oh, Toreador, I feel a little bad about this, but I do like musicals, so... Oklahoma, where the things go wonky in the brain.
People die in here, man. People die in here. Please. Just stop. Okay, I'm gonna walk. Just hit it. Please. I am. Just stop. Just stop. Stop.
I have to hold on to you.
Okay, you can hold on. Just stop. Okay. Just stop. Quit twisting me. Just stop twisting me. Quit twisting me. I'm asking you to quit twisting me.
I have to hold on to you.
That's fine. You can hold on. Quit twisting me.
I was nice and did it on your arm. That's not hurt.
You're twisting me. You're not going to hurt one. I'll tell you that right now. Hi.
Stop on your face.
H-Beard says, don't worry, Oklahoma schools have been ordered to teach the Bible as fact. Should clear everything up. Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
I really wish we had better mental health care in this country. Holy crap.
They can never. I don't care what they put in writing. I don't care what statute, code, ordinance they throw at you. They can never establish you as a legal entity. Do you have blood in your veins? Are you breathing? So you can never be a legal entity. You can never be in their jurisdiction. And here's the case that unravels everything for them. It's Poindexter versus U.S. And it's where the Supreme Court says that any waiver of rights has to be voluntary and a knowingly intelligent act based on all the information. So all these licenses, and I don't care if you have 10 driver's licenses and 15 license plates on the back of your automobile, it still doesn't give them proper jurisdiction because it's all done through trickery and deceit.
No, it's not. It's literally just the law.
Never gave you full disclosure of what was coming with that driver's license. As a matter of fact, tell me one person who's gone to the DMV and they said, hey, so-and-so, you're going to get this license, and in doing so, you're going to waive all of your rights, and you're going to become a legal entity devoid of all these protections, and you're going to be subject to our insidious regulations. Who in their right mind would ever get something like that? They wouldn't. So all these state agencies, they're operating through fraud, deceit, trickery, whatever you want to call it, but they don't give you full disclosure. And if they would ever step to the plate and start giving people full disclosure, everybody would drop them like a hot potato, and they would go out of business.
Oh, I hate how they play Thunderstruck at the end of their videos.
I'd like to
Inalienable University. I know it's inalienable, but they call it Inalienable University.
erase a mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that? Isn't that a violation of my?
It is
of my. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're probably going to have to sue them in an Article 3 court to make them do that. Because again, that Well, the Supreme Court.
Ooh, stop posting videos where there's no visual component. That's not interesting. That's not interesting at all.
They're not applicable.
That's better.
They're not lawful, right? And the difference between legal and lawful is something that's predicated on, God's law, the Constitution, common law, real law. And legal is anything that you agree to. So the IRS is not a lawful agency. It's a legal agency that operates administratively.
No.
And they operate by contract. So you sign your tax forms. That is a contract between you and the IRS. Once you sign that, you become a taxpayer. Then
Are there any Gen Z SovCits, the unalienable rights of my gat? I guess I don't know. There probably are. I've seen a few young people. So yeah.
Subject to.
It seems to be an older people phenomenon, though. Usually it's 30 and up. I've seen a few younger, but it's usually at least 30 and up.
The rules and regulations of a taxpayer, meaning, oh, you didn't put enough income on your statement. Now we can audit you because you're a taxpayer. However, prior to getting in that contract, the IRS can't even see you.
Yeah, that's not true. They're giving really, 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 really bad advice that's going to get people in a lot of trouble. See if there's anything else. Did that. How about Taquan?
Yo, family, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's going on? What's going on, fam? So look, we gotta talk about something, right? I never made this video before, and it's very similar to a lot of videos that I made, but this is very, very special, right? Because I got a lot of students, right? Not just me, but just people who searching this information, who want to exercise their right to travel, people who want to exercise their constitutional rights. And I come across a lot of people, and they say, hey, bro, I'm fighting this case. And I say, what type of case you fighting? Driving on suspended license, driving on revoked license, driving on, like anything that got your license status suppressed in the state, or if it has a hold on it, or a court order hold, right? Most of the time in those circumstances, it's not the same as what I'm doing. Because I'm going to explain the two different ones, right? When you drive on no license, right? When I talk about having no contracts with the state, if you have no license on file and you was to travel without a license, let's say when the police give you a criminal citation and you purposely didn't show up to court, but let's just also say that you do have the passport in that same scenario. And when they ran your, let me think about it. When they ran your ID, not your ID, your passport, and none of your information came up, so they just gave you a citation under that passport. And when the court see that you didn't show up to court, they only take the balance and they send it to collections. Now, for the person who travel on a suspended license, when you get stopped by the police, it wouldn't always just be, oh, well, you driving on a suspended license, citation. No, it's usually you driving on a suspended license. We take you to jail because
you can also get arrested for driving without a license regardless of whether or not you have a passport. Like, they might accept your passport to identify you, but it's not good enough for driving. You need a driver's license to drive. Why does he always do this to his audience? He just fucks them over.
You forgot something. That contract is still active with the state. Even though you have a suspended license, that don't mean your contract is gone. Just
not a contract.
Because they took away your ability to drive, for whatever reason it may be, they still can hurdle that over you as a form of jurisdiction. That's why I tell a person, get all of your contracts out the way before you exercise your right to travel. This is what I did in Chicago. I didn't know I had a suspended license. I had a suspended license for about 7 months, right? And I told myself I wouldn't carry a gun in the car, knowing that that I have, contracts in the state or whatever the case might be, right? because by me having those contracts, I know they'll try to use that license and everything to pull me in, right? Just for the most part. So I just made sure I never had nothing in the car. I made sure the car was always good just because of that situation, right? And I had to go through the whole process of, I had to reschedule a court date. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that in another video, but let me explain it a little bit. So you go to court, you pretty much, you pay $40 for a filing fee to get the court date to refile on the court date. And we go to court, the judge will give you what you need to do to get the license reinstated, right? So I had to pay my insurance fee, right? My insurance fee, I just put insurance on the car, that's it. Once I put insurance on the car, I came back the same day. The judge said, okay, perfect. We're going to reinstate your driver's license, right? They reinstated the license. I went downtown. I got I got my license reinstated. That same day, I went to cancel my contracts within the state. Once I canceled my contracts within the state, I fully was out of that obligation. I got pulled over again in the state of Illinois. This time, I didn't have no license. So when they written me up, they just put no license. I never showed up to court for that, right? Nothing happened. No warrant showed up or anything. So you got a lot of people that travel on revoked license, right? Same thing as suspended, because both of them run hand in hand, because both of them have holds by the Secretary of State from the court, right? So whether you driving on revoked, you might miss a court date and a warrant is issued out for your arrest, because they still never cancel out the driver's license. By them never canceling out, the warrants can still be active. So let's just say if you say, hey.
When he says canceled my contracts with the state, he thinks you can go and cancel your driver's license. And by doing so, he thinks it makes it legal for you to drive without a license. He's incorrect. Very incorrect.
Skip that court date. I'm listening to what Taquan say. You still have that contract within the state. So what the judge usually do when you go to court, I mean, say if you miss court and, okay, you miss court, he driving on a revoked license again. Okay, we're going to issue a warrant out on that ID, right? But remember, it's never closed out. So you stuck in traffic. You might have a passport. You get a judge your passport. They come back and say, hey, man, you got a warrant. How do I got a warrant? I just gave you a passport. That passport don't have a warrant. We did a separate search on your name, and we found out that you do have an ID. That ID is still open and active. So they see that warrant on that ID. We finna take you in on this warrant. I got a warrant. How do I get a warrant? I don't even have a license. Sir, you still got your contract. Like,
don't need a driver's license to have warrants out for your arrest.
So you go through that whole little situation. They take you in, they process you and book you. And then you go on YouTube and say, man, this stuff not real. The right to travel not real. It's not that it's not real, family. You can't have active contracts within the state trying to exercise your right to travel most of the time. Because if you do have a suspended license, that means you are prohibited from driving. A person who drives with no license is better than a person who have a suspended license. One person on one hand don't have a contract with the state. The other person on the other hand is restricted and have contracts with the state. So the state told you and mandated, hey, you cannot drive. You cannot drive on any of these roads. You get what I'm saying? So
the state says that to everyone who doesn't have a license.
So make sure that if you have a revoked driver's license or you have a suspended driver's license, that you cancel out the driver's license and you cancel out the revoked license, but you have to go through the process of getting it reinstated. So that means you got to go to court, pay the necessary fees, get it reinstated, and then you have to cancel out your contracts. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a lot of situations where you're just getting grabbed, hemmed up, and everything like that. When I got pulled over out here in Texas, I got pulled over again in the city of Houston. So when they pulled me over, they looked for warrants and all that. None of that stuff popped up, right? And so the officer was looking like, okay, you seem like a good person. Let you go, and that's it, right? Because if he was to suspend the license, he'd be forced to take me in or give me a citation.
He gets pulled over a lot because he breaks the law a lot.
No, most of the time.
I don't think he has I don't know if he has a proper plate either.
A suspended license or revoked, they're gonna take you in. But if you got no license, they're gonna give you a citation. So they gave me a citation. I mean, they ain't gave me a citation, but they would have gave the average person a citation or took them in. Most likely took them in. For me, they was like, hey, you free to go. I left it like that. I have no contracts with the state of Texas. I don't plan on having contracts. But you got to be careful. Even when you're in a situation where you have a license.
You are being detained, Alien Deep Dish. You now have to stay in this stream forever. Congratulations.
Or without registration. You still can mess yourself up because you have contracts with the state. So let's just say if you were traveling like I did a long time ago, I forgot about that whole contract thing. I was traveling in the vehicle without registration and insurance, but I have a license in the system. So when the police see that license, they pull me over and they say, he got a license, but he ain't drive without registration. You got a court date. I ain't show up to the court date. The judge suspended my license. So that's how that worked. So y'all want to be very careful before y'all do stuff like that. You really want to be on point. You want to understand everything before you want to make sure that all your contracts is canceled. You want to make sure you don't got no obligations with the state.
You're free to go,
just
Carp
so when
Cozy.
you travel, they can just give you a citation or let you go, so you won't have no issues. But make sure them contracts is canceled. If you're driving on revoke, you're driving on suspension, stop now. Make sure you reinstate those state issued documents and cancel them out. Then exercise your right to travel. Don't
Won't matter. He's literally just giving people extra steps. It's not gonna matter.
just go out there and just start traveling and mess yourself up. And then people like us have to be reporting on it. Be like, man, because you one of us still. Whether we agree with each other 100% or not, you still one of us. I'm out. Peace and love.
Terrible.
And for nothing, or why do you have to? Just like the case that they think they have against you, man. There's nothing there except retaliation, and these pigs are just they're like little spoiled little kids, and you knocked their ice cream cone into the dirt that day, and you hurt their feelings and you made them cry. And
yeah, every time I see them, I'm pointing out to them that they're doing something weird.
The guy on the right is the guy who tried to sell magic mushrooms at the farmer's market.
Time.
Got in trouble.
And it's usually a crime. So that means it's not just like my opinion that it's bad. It's like, I'm going to swear to these events and I'm going to call it a crime and I'm going to report you for a crime. And then you and your socialist friends are going to collaborate against us, even though we have.
He calls the cops socialists, by the way. He thinks the cops are socialist.
Have a law against fascism.
Everything he doesn't like is socialist.
It's the 14th Amendment. They're going to go ahead and be fascists, and they're going to say,
they're socialist fascists.
You're the American, that means you get charged, you go to jail. We're the socialist fucking traitor, that means that anything we do is perfectly fine. I mean, God, man, how anyone could support these people, it honestly makes me sick that someone could be this
insane.
stupid. It's totally
it's insane.
Believing in something that it's so much worse than just like some random religion, because this is verifiably wrong in every aspect, and it's just pathetic.
Well, these people that have been in charge since forever, I don't even, I can't even put my finger on a timeline and say this is when it started, because it probably has always been there. There were always people involved in the political process all the way back to after the Constitution being ratified that had, royalist leanings, and that's fucking socialism. Well, we got to make sure that we have.
Being a monarchist is socialism. Yes.
Nobility and a king and all that shit, and that's what these socialists are doing, except they all think that they're kings. All of them think they're kings. These people are fucking trash. Yeah, but then Americans just say, well, you can't fight City Hall. Well, guess who made that fucking statement? Guess who made that little saying? One of these socialists made that up. You can't fight City Hall. Let's start this. Death and taxes. Right, yeah, death and taxes. This is another thing that they made up,
Well, it's true that you can't fight them because you don't have enough time to even... Bro, just keeping track of all the crimes they've committed against me actually requires AI, and it requires, computers. Otherwise, I'd need secretaries, I'd need fucking... Seriously, bro... It is like a full-time job, just keeping track of all of their violations of policy and law, and just the fucking way they act at all is disgusting. And I did call these the judge and the prosecutor sovereign servants. And I pointed to the cop in the room, and I said, he thinks he's a king. And then this is where it gets confusing, because now he thinks you're a bigger king. And you, apparently, you're like a medium king to the prosecutor. And it just doesn't make sense. You just want it to be whatever the hell you come up with so that you can do whatever you want. And that's what it is. That the law doesn't exist. What exists is fascism. Where if you do it, it's a crime, and if I do it, then it's perfectly fine. It's right.
Right. He's not supposed to be just making up shit on the fly, like
just
obviously.
On their side. Just blatantly on their side.
I need to point out that this is one of the conspiracy people that's obsessed with ChatGPT and using it to make shit up for him.
Okay.
Like, he writes all his motions for the court using ChatGPT.
I want you to use this state of Oregon criminal complaint that I'm going to paste in to write a federal criminal complaint. And that means I want the state laws to be replaced with federal laws that apply to these circumstances.
And then he wonders how successful is that? Not at all. And he wonders why it never goes his way. He just acts like, oh, it's just fascism. No, you're not writing these correctly.
Okay. So this federal criminal complaint is filed.
All right. I think we're done for the day. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out and watching Sovereign Citizens with me. Some really weird and interesting stuff today. So lots of fun. Thank you. If you haven't already and you like the stream, make sure you give me a follow or a subscription on YouTube. We do stuff all the time. It's loads of fun. I should be back tomorrow. If not, I'll be back Sunday. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Love you too, Mr. Blast. And let's see who we're gonna raid.
Cloud.
There's something getting ready to happen. We all know because the world is in a...
Oh, good. They're watching Gina. Perfect. All right. Have a good night, everyone. See you soon. I'm excited to take this wig off. Woo!